Okay. Good evening, folks. Sorry, I'm starting almost 50 minutes later than I thought I would, at least 50. Sorry, I did not think I was going to be out that long. Okay, let's see. Oop, need to start. That's right. I always know I forget something. Okay. There we go. And let's see. We are ready for, oops. Oh, crap. That's right. I need to make sure I have an easier process in doing this. Starting my Steemit restream, so that's why I'm taking so long to get set up. Hey, Rosenfeld. That's awesome, Rosenfeld. That's awesome. Hey, Nash. Okay, start streaming. Come on. There we go. So, do I even have? Okay, cool. All right, so we are live on Steemit as well. We are live on Periscope and YouTube. So we are set to start. One more thing, sorry. Let's see. Need to post on Gab, which posts on Twitter. That's so annoying. Okay. Again, sorry for the late start. I didn't think the things I was doing was going to take so long. Oh yeah, I'm in quite a lot of rabbit holes. If no one's looking into them, you're not going to find anything. They have investigators and detectives for a reason, and they don't do their job by just sitting around and waiting for the truth to find them. They have to go looking for the truth, whether it leads them down paths that they don't want to go down. They still have to go investigate it. Hey, Shirley, how's it going? That's the job, I guess. Not my job. Everyone has their own job. Every rabbit hole is different. You just have to go down, find what you're looking for, see if it's relevant, and then come back out. And hopefully you've got something worth anything. And it's always interesting no matter what, because it's a lot more exciting than almost any book out there. I mean, you just have to, because you come away with this feeling, if this is real, this is just mind blown, right? And if it's not real, it's, wow, that's like hundreds or if not thousands of years in the making of quite serious luck in as far as when you see people get things right. Okay. So earlier today, if you saw the video, it was about some people worth watching. One is Quantum of Conscience, that's on YouTube. Another is Naomi Wolf, and finally Bill Cooper, or Milton William Cooper is his full name. Definitely check out the video. Check out those links I provide in the description. One thing I like about quantum of conscience, and I think it's because I see a little bit of branding in the bottom right, so I think it's like the silent. I need to look. Give me a second here. Oops, you probably heard that. I can't see it. Usually there's a little bit of a branding in the bottom right, but I don't see it in this video. The one thing I liked, and I wish I could find it right now without you guys being bothered by hearing it, is he talks about, and I'll just go and share it. Why not? His story, preservation, Libya, ISIS, Syria connection. And he talks about, I think it was Libya, and how one of the oddities of them being said that they've had poison chemical weapons, and so they got rid of all their chemical weapons because of so much propaganda towards them. So okay, they give up their chemical weapons, and then I guess the U.S. military is like, you know what, or deep state, I would say more. We can't do anything now that they just said that they got rid of their chemical weapons. So what now? And then what happens later? You see that they use a chemical weapon on their own people, kill their own people. So and then U.S. intervenes, and he talks about how, okay, so we did our job, but we got to finish things off. And so they go, all right, well, they don't have any more chemical weapons, except, hey, here's another one. They forgot this one. So they go ahead and the dictator in Libya just goes ahead and gasses his own people again. It's like, come on, you know what happened the first time. And he said, someone in charge in the military's got to tell them, hey, you know what? This didn't work out so well the first time, just killing our own people with a chemical weapon that we said we didn't have. And then what happened was the U.S. came down on us. So, maybe it's not a good idea to do this again. So it makes sense. So that's why I say find a constant. I think when you go down these rabbit holes to look for the truth, to look through so much stuff that's just kind of left forgotten, and it's right now it's a Zerg rush war, I guess you could say. They're just flooding information out there. It doesn't matter if it's truth or lies or mix of both. You just have to spend so much time on it. I think every person has to have that perspective of, what, this could be false, but let's just make sure to check up and keep going back and seeing if this has any validity, because otherwise it's just a good story. That's all it is. So the constant, where I'm coming with the constant, is I was a big Lost fan. I don't know. If I watched it again, I think I might still be disappointed in certain in certain ways, just because I know what's coming and what the end result is. I know it's not what I'm looking for. But the cool thing is, if I watch it again, I'm going to probably look for so many references to the cult, and it'll be definitely a different experience when I watch it again. But the reason why I call it the finder constant is you just need an anchor. You need someone who grounds you. No matter, say you become famous or super wealthy or super powerful, you still got friends. If you have friends from a long time ago, or maybe even family, they knew who you were, what you were like, and they know that you shit the same as everyone else. It doesn't matter if you got gold toilets or whatnot. your golden throne toilet. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, your shit. You don't shit gold. You still shit crap. Um, and you've had your experiences in the past, whether it's good or bad. It, you know, just that they're going to be there for you. They're looking out for you, and that whatever they say, it's not to hurt you, but it's to make sure that you're okay. So even though you'll probably hear things from them that you may not like, you know that they're saying things because it's what you need to hear. So that's kind of my take on what your constant is. And so this character, Desmond, right here, you see, he has like a love of his life named Penny. And what he's going through is some type of time jump. So he keeps jumping throughout time, and it's starting to make him go crazy. And in order to get himself out of this time loop, where he's jumping different parts of time where he's kind of been in the past, in order to stop it, he just has to contact his constant, and finally things go back to normal. And it's probably one of my favorite episodes in Lost. I could just do a video on this episode of how cool it is, how great it is, and it's very also emotional. It's emotionally touching. It's very good episode. So when I say going down the rabbit hole, you're going down the path where you've got some people who are just even the people who, like me, I would say I talk about a lot of crazy stuff, and I tend to think that a lot of this crazy stuff is, it seems kind of legit. I mean, there's no real basis for it. It just makes sense in different perspective ways that you look at it, whether it's a logical sense or strategic sense, psychological one. It has validity to it. One of the things I like thinking about is the what do you call it? The Mandela effect. The Mandela effect. The reason why I like it is, why didn't the Mandela effect get big like before 2010, I think, or 2014? I don't know. It's kind of a recent thing. I mean, I want to try to look back and see how long it took for it to start, just to see. And because I mean, Bernstein Bears, that's what's got me. That's what got me. Bernstein Bears. It's the Berenstein Bears. So I'll show you. This is I guess I'm starting to go down the rabbit hole. The Bernstein Bears. That's how I always thought it was spelled. Bernstein, right? It's not the Bernstein Bears, it's the Berenstain Bears. But see, here's the thing. It could be the Berenstain Bears, because when I read the Bernstein Bears, I was a kid, or at least if it was read to me, or when I was able to read myself. So it could just be a childhood error. I mean, I'm 39 now. 30 years, how much can I remember? Or maybe 35 years, Now, what's interesting to me, when I just saw earlier today, is the Karate Kid. The original Karate Kid in the 80s is awesome. And someone pointed out is the bandana. I didn't remember it being this, like a black bandana. I always thought it was like the red, like in let's see if they have it, like the sunburst. That's what I always thought it looked like, but again, I was a kid when I watched this movie and I paid attention, but this doesn't seem right. You know, it's just one of those things. And the Mandela effect is totally uh totally random for different people. And then the great thing about the Mandela effect, if you watch X-Files and you like X-Files, oh man, there's a great episode on X-Files. People who are like really into the Mandela effect may not like it, but if you just take it just as an entire kind of a spoof on the Mandela effect and conspiracy theories, and you know they're going to do that, make fun of conspiracy theorists as much as they can, because again, this is propaganda-ish. It's a narrative of cultural mainstream entertainment. So you're gonna see conspiracy theory types of episodes. So it's a really good, fun episode if you get to watch it. It's season 11, episode 4. Yeah, definitely give it a watch if you like it. Now let's go to some pretty cool coincidental things. One of the things that comes up a lot is remember the Iowa caucus, and they flipped the coin to see who won between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. Well, the reports say that there were 6 coins flipped, and they all came up heads 6 times, and the odds of heads coming up 6 times, I think it's something around 2%. Let me see if I can find it. Toss 6 heads. All right, sorry, I should share the screen. All right, so even the Washington Post had done a article on it. Here's just how unlikely Hillary Clinton's 6 for 6 coin toss victories. And then, of course, NPR does coin toss fact check. No, coin flips did not win Iowa for Hillary. And then Iowa caucus from Independent, Hillary Clinton won 6 delegates via coin toss. So which is it? Come on, NPR. Come on, Washington Post. Get your story straight. Was the Iowa caucus decided by coin flips? The Atlantic. Anyways, let's see if I do odds of coin toss the same. It shouldn't be odds 6 times. It should be statistics, probability. There you go. Not sure how much we could count on Reddit, but here we go. 1 in 32 chance, around 3%. But right, that's interesting. I mean, I always had the idea of if I was gonna gamble and play roulette, but I just feel like you'd just be losing money. How many times can it not be red or not be black? I mean, you got 48 black, 48 red, I think. Or no, wait, it's 36, and then you got 2 green, 0 and 00. So what you do is you bet $1. I mean, let's just start with $1. And so it comes up red, and so you say you're betting on black, and you put in $2 next time, and you roll, and it goes around, and then it hits red, and you're like, all right, twice in a row, let's put on black again. This time you put how much you've lost, 1 and then 2, so you make it $3. So at least you're breaking even. And then it goes around, and then it's black or red, and then you go, oh crap! So now you got $6 that you need to put in. So it goes around, and if it keeps going up red, maybe 10, 11 times, yeah, something's up. But you keep going, and then eventually it'll hit black, and then you just start over at 1, and then you just keep going until you ride that wave, and then you leave. That's that. Although all that money you start putting in there that doubles up to double or nothing. That can be scary. But that's kind of what I would do. You're gonna win very little, but eventually you'll ride that wave, hit that wave. All right. Yeah, I don't like luck. I'm unlucky, so that's why I don't gamble. If I had luck, yeah, I'd probably be gambling all the time. But no, I have to use skill, but then I wouldn't really call it gambling unless it's poker. That's gambling, but you're still skill based. You're just limiting your potential chances of losing. Okay, down the rabbit hole we go. This is a fun one, and am I sharing? Oh shoot, I wasn't sharing. All right, here we go. Sometimes you guys just don't get to see all the things I get to see. This one is the Lincoln Kennedy coincidences. Urban legend. I mean, this is the Wikipedia, so there's probably a lot more in here that aren't in here, but maybe they just go ahead and show everything because they like to show things hidden in plain sight. By the way, the Zoom session is open, so feel free to come on in, participate. I'll be your constant if you want. Although I'm going down the rabbit hole too, so maybe you don't want a constant that's also going down the rabbit hole. Yeah, you could be in trouble, both of you. Okay. So there's a lot of cool similarities, and it's fun when you think about it of just how coincidental things are and who the hell pays attention to this. But you know what? I'm glad people are paying attention to it. So there's a lot of eerie coincidences between Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. So this is an example of the list presented for illustration. So I think there's a lot more. I could go ahead and look for it here. It's a Snopes article. Huh, interesting. Gardner and others have said that it's relatively easy to find seemingly meaningful patterns relating any two people or events, but such patterns do not stand up to rigorous scrutiny. Okay. So both presidents were elected to the House of Representatives in 46. Of course, Lincoln in 1846 and John F. Kennedy in 1946. Both were losing candidates for the party's vice presidential nomination in 1956. Both presidents were elected to the presidency in 60. Sorry, both died after being shot in the head. There's more to that too. I'm not sure if they're going to say it here in the Wikipedia, but I can go ahead and get back to it. Lincoln defeated incumbent Vice President John C. Breckinridge for the presidency in 1860. Kennedy defeated incumbent Vice President Richard M. Nixon for the presidency in 1960. Both their predecessors were the last presidents to be born in their respective centuries. Both their predecessors left office in their 70s and retired to Pennsylvania. James Buchanan, whom Lincoln succeeded, retired to Lancaster Township. Dwight D. Eisenhower, which Kennedy succeeded, retired to Gettysburg. They both then died before the end of the decade. Both their vice presidents and successors were Southern Democrats named Johnson, Andrew Johnson and Lyndon B. Johnson, who were born in 2008. Both presidents were concerned with issues affecting African Americans and made their views strongly known in 1963. Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1862, which took effect in 1863. In 1963, Kennedy presented his reports to Congress on issues related to the Civil Rights Movement, and in June of that year, delivered his Civil Rights address on radio and television, which he proposed the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Both presidents and their successors conferred with their nationally known black leader about civil rights. Both Lincoln and Andrew Johnson conferred with Frederick Douglass. Both Kennedy and Lyndon Johnson conferred with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Both presidents were known for their wit and eloquence, and both frequently quoted Shakespeare and the Bible in their speeches. Both presidents had been captains of ships in their private lives. Lincoln on a riverboat and Kennedy on PT 109. Each president suffered from genetic disease. Lincoln had Marfan's syndrome. Kennedy had Edison's disease. Both presidents were shot in the head on Friday, seated beside their wives. Both Fridays preceded major holiday observed within the week. During the assassination, they were sitting in an alphabetical pattern. Their spouse's first name and both presidents' last name, JKLM, Jackie Kennedy Lincoln Mary. Jackie was seated to the left of Kennedy and Mary to the right of Lincoln. Both presidents were accompanied by another couple. The male companion of the other couple was wounded by the assassin. That's for both. Both presidents fathered 4 children and had a son die during his presidency. I don't know how many. It would be interesting when they point these out is of all the presidents, how many had 4 children and how many also had sons that died during their presidency. That way there's a little bit of a comparison. That's what I think is missing in these coincidences, just how of all the presidents, how rare is it and how common? That would be great. Sorry for that segue. Both presidents had only one child survive in the next century. That child served another president by political appointment. Both presidents' wives died in their 60s after an untimely decline in health during the administration of a president who had seen their husbands in Washington, D.C. the same year in the assassination. Mary Todd Lincoln died during the presidency of Chester A. Arthur. Arthur had attended President Lincoln's 1865 inauguration. Jacqueline Kennedy died during the presidency of Bill Clinton. Clinton met President Kennedy in 1963 during a Boys State summer program. Lincoln was shot by John Wilkes Booth at Ford's Theater. Kennedy was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald and Lincoln automobile made by Ford. Both presidents' last names have 7 letters. Both assassins' full names have 15 letters. Each assassin committed his crime in the building where he was employed. Both presidents were purportedly smiling immediately before the assassination began. After shooting Lincoln, Booth ran from a theater to a warehouse. After shooting Kennedy, Oswald ran from a warehouse to a theater. Both assassins died in the same month as their victim in a state adjacent to the state of their birth. Both assassins were Southern white males born in late 30s who were in their mid-20s and were 5'8" in height and hazel eyes and brown hair. Both assassins were sympathetic to a government that opposed the United States, and both had once resided within that government's borders. Both assassins were killed before being tried by men who were reared in the North, changed their name as adults, and were bachelors. Both assassins suffered injuries during escape. Both assassins fled using modes of transportation they did not own. Booth rented a horse, Oswald rode a bus. Both presidents had bodyguards named William H. Crook told Lincoln not to go to the assassination point. William Greer drove JFK to the assassination point. Both bodyguards named William died within 48 hours of being aged 75 years, 5 months. That's weird. Presidential security was heavily criticized after each assassination for being too lax. Lincoln sat in box number 7 at Ford's Theater. Kennedy sat in car number 7 in the motorcade. The doctors who primarily attended to each president were both named Charles. Dr. Charles Leal treated Lincoln. Dr. Charles Crenshaw treated Kennedy. Each president died in a place with the initials PH. Lincoln died at the Peterson House, and Kennedy died at Parkland Hospital. Kennedy was the second president in U.S. history who issued interest-free money. The first was Lincoln, who issued greenbacks to finance the war between the states in the American Civil War. Most of the items above are true, such as in the year in which Lincoln and Kennedy each were elected president, but this is not so news given that the presidential elections are held only every 4 years. A few of the items are simply untrue. There's no record to show that Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy. Lincoln's secretaries were John Hay and John G. Nicolay. However, Lincoln's bodyguard, William H. Crook, did advise Lincoln not to go to that night to Ford's Theater. I mean, isn't that interesting? A little bit. I think it is. Like your imagination could go wild. If you just want to make up a story, there's so many stories you can be doing off of this coincidence. Whether I think the main one is like we are in some type of matrix of some sort. For me, I would say there's, if I was going to let my imagination run wild, this has nothing to do with validating the coincidences between Lincoln and Kennedy. But I would just say, maybe there's like a cyclical interpretation. Just no, we don't really know what happened in the past, especially Lincoln. Basically, what's written, and we know that everything that's written is controlled by government. There's probably a lot of stuff written in the past, and who controlled the printing presses and all this other jazz. Like how much of historical record has been kept by just private individuals and passed on generations and held up. It's kind of tough, but let's just say that our history was exactly as it's stated as it is. It's still very coincidental. I would say, I don't know, maybe there's like, you know how there's just kind of, if you think about everything in like a circle, kind of like a clock, like say time is cyclical. If you this is just an example, I'm not saying it is, then every just certain age hits that cycle, and you always get something like this that occurs. So the next one might be very similar. It's just kind of I don't know. I can't quite explain it. It's like a reset button. It's a new age. It's in the future. Everything is just, the time is the same, but the participants are different. So it's kind of going through the same story, but with different characters, but some similarities. It's like playing a different version of a video game with how can I explain it? Maybe a Dungeon and Dragons game, but instead of playing as a cleric, you're playing as a paladin, or you're playing as a ranger. You go through the same story, you're just a different character, and then you might have some similarities in them. I don't know. That just sounds a little bit too dumb. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Blah blah. Astrology. Now that's a crazy one, because once you start getting into the occult, you realize that the sun and the moon, all of that plays a big part, and how numbers and position of planets, all that jazz. That's all very interesting. Like I had that reading done with Ariel, and I was rewatching it, and I was like, oh, so that's what like I always thought the horoscope was, hey, you're just that you're born between this and this date, and you get you're a Libra, you're a Capricorn, you're whatever. It's actually a lot more expansed, if that's even a word. It's just broader than I think, because you've got the I took some notes. You got the sun, the moon, you got your rising, your ascending, or whatever you want to call it. You've got your houses, and I still can't follow it, but I mean, I kind of get the general premise, and then all of that's written down. Oh, and the theories that are out there, like the age of Aquarius. Oh man, that's a cool one. So something happened. So we're just in a new age, I guess. It's fun going down these rabbit holes, because it's so amazing. I mean, even if it's not true, I am enjoying it for the entertainment value. But if it is true and something happens where, hey, that was something someone kind of said was potentially possible, and you're gonna be like, holy crap, that's true. And then our minds are blown. But that doesn't ever seem to happen. It's always kind of like how J.J. Abrams does things, right? Where he gives you a mystery and you have questions. And so he finally gives you a little bit of a Easter egg, a little bit of an answer. But the answer that you get just, gives you 10 more questions. Now you've got 10 more questions. You just had that, few, maybe one or two. Now you've got 10. And like, okay, I can't wait till we get an answer to one of these. And then you finally get one. And then you've got 10, 20 more questions. It's like never ending saga. So that's what it always feels like to me. And things just always appear the same that way. Come on, I'm not even trying to do a monologue. Where is everybody? I guess no one likes going down that rabbit hole. Or you just haven't found your constant yet. There you go. Once you find your constant, you can go down the rabbit hole as deep as you want. What are my favorite conspiracy theory? We're back to Dungeons & Dragons. Here's the thing about the Illuminati Luciferianism is just the occult, all the stuff that's out there. Oh, here's one that you might like. And this is hi Rebel, how's it going? Thank you. I don't have to be monologuing all night.
Hi. When you're talking.
Oh, could you mute your YouTube?
Forgot. I don't have my.
No problem. Holy smokes! Now it's a flood. What the hell?
Thank you.
Sorry.
Hey Ben.
I forgot. I don't have. My daughter took my ear.
Oh, okay.
But when you were talking about, I'm sick. When you're talking about like different actors but at the same time, I really believe in the parallel universe theory. There's like two different things happening at the same time. Like, have you ever
quantum entanglement type of thing?
Yeah, and we intersect at a certain time, and it's just like we're going through that same experience, like boom, at a certain time, and then the cycle starts all over again.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Have you ever seen a Mobius strip?
Yes.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah. So people who don't know what a Mobius strip is, you just get it's just a strip of paper. And what you do is you connect them, except you make one little half twist. Or is it a full twist? Half twist. And so basically, if you follow the inside, it goes all the way around the outside and back through the inside. So it's one continuous thing. If you just follow one side, it go a full circle. You'll hit both sides, I think.
But it looks like it's doing it on it's just weird how that is. And it's just, who did I learn that from?
I don't know.
I think it was when I really got into the series, like of like what the bleep or.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure.
During all that time, things were just coming out about that, about everything like that, and it was just like, oh my God. Yeah, talk about rabbit holes.
Yeah. Okay, so here's one. Moses, the guy in the Old Testament, Moses, you guys all know him, right? Statues of Moses. Is there anything peculiar about him, the statues of Moses?
I've never seen one, I don't think.
Oh. Do you think Moses would have horns? Boy, he's got horns. Here, let me show you the screen.
Excuse me.
Here's Moses.
Oh, holy shit.
He's got horns. Why is Moses depicted with horns? I never thought he had horns before, but I guess I never really paid attention. I mean,
how did you come up with this? I mean, what were you looking for?
Oh, this is part of the Mandela effect.
Oh,
like I was like, really? Moses had horns? How come I never heard of anything where Moses was depicted with horns? It's like, why didn't I hear about this? Why am I hearing about this now? I mean, holy crap.
Well, I'm going to grab my daughter's Bible and I'm going to go search.
Yeah. Anyways, Ben, Stevie, thank you for joining. What's on your minds as far as all this stuff?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Rebel brought up the alternate theory, alternate universe theory. It kind of makes sense, especially if you factor in, like there's people that feel like they have arms, like they shouldn't have an arm, stuff like that. Have you heard? I don't know the name of the syndrome, but like maybe it's like that same feeling, but it's like in the alternate universe, they lost their arm for some reason, So it's like there's all kinds of things like that that just kind of makes me like, I wonder.
Yeah. What about
that's my rabbit hole?
What about you, Ben? You really get philosophical, so I'm sure you spent some time on this one.
Oh wait. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have anything to contribute.
Okay.
I mean, I like to deal with things that are more like concrete, I guess.
Do you? I mean, do you study Buddhism at all?
Once upon a time, I was pretty much into that, and then I went eclectic on everybody. I think the best way to say that is like about being like having like an eclectic way of like spirituality or something is like somebody like framed it to me before, which is like, so like you have a vase of flowers on the table, like, pull out each flower. One flower represents one religion. I mean, they're all like your spirituality can kind of, you can be a little cosmopolitan or eclectic about it, and just recognize it all maybe more philosophically. So, yeah, there's I think a Chinese philosopher called like Fa Zong. I think that's the guy that did it. I can find the quote, I think, but it might have been Jushi, but it was this, and he said that I think it was Fa Zong, and he said that from it's always been that way. Like he was talking about religion. He said that the people in the higher classes the ruling classes would look at it more like a philosophically, and the people in the lower classes would be more like superstitious about the way that they would see the same religion. And it was funny because that was like written in like 800 or 900 in China and the East, and it's like completely separate from over here, but it still kind of can apply,
Yeah, it does. I do see that a lot.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I just like to look at things. Whenever I went from Buddhism to Sufism. I really like Sufism for a little bit, and then like Taoism. I really like Taoism, and I mean, it's like people are like, oh, Confucianism is a religion, and you don't believe in like the Chinese people believe in that, and it's like that's just you're looking at it through your framework. Hold on, just a second.
Okay, I guess we'll get back to it once Ben comes back. But yeah. Do you ever feel weirded out that some things that still go on today that's been going on for thousands of years? I mean, I think
I'm not quite sure if weird is the word, but it feels Like I'm a smaller part of a bigger picture.
I'm not sure I follow. To think about, like, for example, our sewage system is very much, pretty much borrowed or used from the Romans. I mean, how long ago was that? At least 600, 700 years at least. Probably longer. And we're just using the same type of we're just using long, very sloping, systems of getting water or sewage into, well, now it's sewage plant, but it used to be towards the ocean or river.
It's just amazing, I mean, we're just like them. We just have it easier to do. We got machines now to do. Like if we were to build a pyramid today, we have all kinds of machines. Just go make the brick and haul it up there and everything. We don't need to make the brick with our hands and go climb up there and go, But we're just like them, just different.
So I have this this quote I was looking for. I kind of found it. It was by Panikkar, Panikkar, the Vedas. I guess it's like Indian religious text. And
Vedas.
So there's like, he says, oh wait, maybe, actually, you know what? It's not. It's I think it's him, this guy about 100 years ago, 100 and so something years ago, who wrote about his religion or his culture, like from India. I don't know. Can't really call. I guess I have to look it up. I just like took note of it a long time ago. So here's the excerpt, I guess. I'll make it a little. I'll like read the context around it a little bit. So to our sense of responsibility to find on each occasion the right words, the proper atmosphere. So one excerpt. Next one, of religion bound concepts. Are we not saying that the English language is indefectibly bound to one particular tradition? So then here's the real thing. It says, so grace, angel, heaven, democracy, Lord, God, revelation, are they in our culture not common names? See, undoubtedly common names within a certain cultural area. Yet the moment we speak of the grace of Vishnu, Russian democracy, the Lord Buddha, the God of Hinduism, and the like, more than one thoughtful person will feel uneasy. And I don't know. So he has more or less unconsciously converted those common names into proper names, and he is tied to a particular understanding of them. There you go. There it is, basically. So basically just saying that, like, and it's somewhere else in there, and I may have wrote it down also, but it was like, he said in that article, he was like the English language or like the English language world doesn't own the concept of like, grace and angel and heaven and like God or whatever. Like that was his point. It's like that, these are existing in other cultures. And then, it just reminds you, like, I guess, like anthropology will, okay, this is just this is my cultural lens. This is my way of looking at it. And then, and it's hard to kind of escape the gravity of that. And especially when your culture or language is like English, like I'm from Missouri. It's like looking around at being in Missouri. It's like, how far do you have to go to not be an English speaking location? English world's pretty big.
Yep. Let's see what else. Here's another one, and this is from Bill Cooper. I want to make sure I get this right. So Bill Cooper, his thoughts on the founding fathers of the United States, and I think he has it so that they're all part of some type of secret society, whatever it is, free, the Masons, Freemasons, or whatever it is that the each one does, but they purposely put out these civil liberties, like Bill of Rights, to give people a taste. It's kind of like a test. It's like, we're going to give everybody these innate freedoms, but eventually they're just going to end up saying, you know what, we don't want these freedoms. We'd rather want security. We want the government to take care of us. And so when we lose it, it's kind of like the grand test or something like that. So it's I always thought that was kind of a cool little idea, I guess, that he had, where instead of having following the straightforward that we won our freedoms because they were just thought so far ahead, but it's kind of a like a twist. It's like, yeah, they want to give us freedoms, but only as a part of a test, because they know that people would eventually give up and fail. And so I think that kind of resonated with me, and thought that was kind of an interesting take on the founding fathers and why we have the freedoms that we have, not necessarily because that we just wanted to be free from tyranny like we were from Great Britain back in the day.
I mean, that's just a perspective, though. It's just a view.
Yeah,
one time I was like, I told my friend, I was like, I guess I think I think it's messed up. I think the government like knows more about my ancestry than I do myself. I guess since then I've thought about how relative that is when you think about like how many grandmothers and grandfathers you probably had hundreds of thousands of years, like hundreds of years ago. It would be hundreds. But his response to me was pretty cool. I really respect this guy. He said, okay, how does that, like, he's like, how does that change like you? How does that change what you do, or how you, like, if, say the government knows like, much more about your ancestry than you can do yourself. Like, how does that change your life, or how does that change your behavior? Or how, and I had to like ask myself, and I couldn't really come up with something like how that changed who I am or what I do, or like really it made any sense anyway. And so I'm just saying, like, I don't know if that's proven, or it's like I said, it was speculation. So but even if that was the case, like if that were the case somehow, then how would that, like, seems like time being you have, for all intents and purposes, like most of the freedoms on the books. I mean, like, this is the Patriot Act's weathered away at some of them, and the legal system just being all about money and not about justice more is a problem. But I mean, like, we're still better off than, like, I don't know, I don't want to name names, but it's pretty easy.
Oh, we lost Stevie. All right. She needed a constant. She didn't have a constant. Now she's lost in the rabbit hole.
What constant?
It's just in the beginning of the show. Okay, so I was looking through the Mandela effect. I just did a time filter. Although this Mandela effect isn't actually talking about the Mandela effect. It's just a Mandela effect of just all this stuff. Because if I type in Mandela effect, it's just that one. There's something for fake tropes, or this is Pinterest back in 2007. So it's been around for what, 11 years maybe? Maybe 20 examples of the Mandela effect. That was what it was. But sometimes the dates on these things aren't very correct. So I mean, if this is the Pinterest. Oh wait, no, stop! Where's that song coming from? Stop! You're gonna get me. You're gonna kill me. There goes the copyright strike. That's just wrong. Okay, 20 examples. See, 2016. You can't see it. So that was bogus. The search result, even though it had March 15, 2007, I don't see why it's that when the same heading shows that it was posted on October 13th, 2016. So some of these things are bunk when you're looking through. I hate that. It's just very annoying. Among Data Effect 2009. Don't know. Oh, here's one. Twitter. What? See, February 1st, 2001? There's no way. Twitter wasn't even around in 2001. Let's see. Yeah, see, September 25th, 2016.
But some people are gullible enough to believe that, like, to overlook that detail and then basically post it and be like, oh my gosh, this is sensational.
Yeah.
I guess just enough people are like that it works.
Yeah.
But back, can I say like about that last topic though? I mean, I guess you say that I have like YouTube has like basically like, you know, try to get me to watch stuff like that, or like, you know, History Channel kind of stuff. So I think that's right. I think that's according to the I mean, however far that goes, the History Channel and YouTube. That's what the Illuminati are about, or whatever it is. Like what you were saying, like what you're characterizing. So I mean, I don't know if that makes it true. I said it was speculation, like not proven.
Well, we do know that they do exist. They exist in historical accounts. People have admitted that they are, where that they exist today, and secret societies do exist. Some of the secret societies, they say, yeah, I mean, it's not secret that we exist. It's just the things that we do are secret.
I mean, isn't the Bible like that? Like, well, I'm sorry, let me specify it down. When the Old Testament predicted Jesus and New Testament says this is the Jesus that was predicted, it's like, isn't that a little bit like that? Like, okay, here we are, and somebody tells you, oh yeah, it was all set up 200 years ago. I mean, it's easy to say. It's rocky to prove. You know, it's, I don't know, whatever. Teach their own and stuff. Like I said, I mean, I guess basically, you know, if we can get like 10-cent bottle tax, I'm happy. And like, you know, if minimum wage goes up or like basic stuff like that, like it's kind of, I don't know, maybe that's lame, maybe that's shallow, but it's just like, I guess keeping it there is like, you know, something that makes it's more cut and dry. Yeah.
Oh.
What?
I didn't know this. It was the Moses with the horns.
Mm-hmm.
Was taken from the Tanakh, which is the Masoretic text of the Hebrew and Aramaic book that Jews use. It's for rabbinic Judaism, and the translation in the Tanakh from Exodus, when he came down with the tablets of the laws for the second time.
Yep.
And it says that he didn't know he had horns, and so he covered his face because the children of Israel could not stand looking at him. They were afraid.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Ben, is I covered it earlier, is this right here, this book that Bill Cooper wrote is back in 1998, I think, and or 1991. I can't remember. Why can't I remember? 1991, yeah. So that's like 27 years ago. And he talks about the plan, just like before. Naomi Wolf kind of talked about a blueprint, just 10 signs, 10 signs from the blueprint.
Well, the part about the drugs, I mean, that's you know, a lot of people say that I don't know what was ever exposed or uncovered. I mean, obviously the Iran Contra, things like that. But I mean, the thing about getting the middle class or anyone in America to beg to do away with the Second Amendment. I mean, I guess it would depend how you define do away with the Second Amendment, but I would just think that honestly, the literal sense, like denotative sense, if that's somebody's goal is to get people to beg to take the Second Amendment away, they're doing a terrible job. And there's just we're so far from that. I just don't see that. I don't see that occurring. And maybe it could get worse. I mean,
that's so Ben.
Shootings, these are horrible. Ben, the Las Vegas.
Look, I know. So I'm trying to get you to understand the point. The point isn't that it's not working. The point is they're still using the same strategy to take away the Second Amendment. 27 years ago, it's the same thing, same strategy that they're taking now.
Is that the main issue? Is the main issue the guns, or is the gun issue a secondary issue? Like at Amazon, you get those add-on items. Like it's like a second. It's like a horse and carriage in the terms of the drugs. Drugs. If there was no drugs, there wouldn't be the supply and demand factor for guns.
Empty your cup for a bit, Ben. Empty your cup for a bit. What I'm trying to show you and say is 27 years ago, Bill Cooper showed exactly the strategy, the blueprint of how they're going to try and do away with the Second Amendment. And it's to foster a feeling of insecurity, that they want people to voluntarily disarm themselves. They're passing laws against firearms, using drugs, hypnosis. CIA.
I had a friend who there's the laws.
Wait. Let me please finish. The CIA inculcated desire for these people to open fire on schoolyards and inflame the anti-gun lobby, which is the NRA. This is the exact same thing that just happened in Florida, and it's happened in a couple of other places. And this was 27 years ago. So they're using the exact same blueprint, and this is a generation ago. And does that not strike you odd?
You're saying that I never heard of Bill Cooper. I haven't read the book. I just saw that excerpt. But you're saying that the occurrences, the phenomenon, everything that's happening is all like orchestrated. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. I am a skeptic. So I should be more skeptical.
But so Naomi, if you listen to Naomi Wolf, and I don't want to play the entire 38.5-minute video, and it's a pretty decent interview, and it talks about just the certain steps that's happened in the past with Nazi Germany before it became bad, and it's using the same tactics that they used, and that was being used during the Bush and the Obama administration. And isn't that a little bit worrisome? I mean, if you're on a kind of a no-fly list or a warning list, just because you've got suspicion or something that you're just a high-profile target of being kind of against the government. I mean, she's just an author. She's writing books about like sexuality, female, and what is it when you're kind of equality of gender, sexes. Gosh, it's one of those nights. And just being kind of held back, saying, yeah, you're on a list, and they just kind of put you into an interrogation room. They don't really say anything. I mean, this stuff's been going on.
From how you're arguing this, with that, like, it kind of leads me to believe that, like,
it's not an argument. It's a fact.
From how you're thinking, though, it makes me feel like, from that point of view, what's the point of worrying about mental health? What's the point of worrying about people's quality of life, where they can spend more time with their family, like maybe a 35-hour work week? I mean, what's the point of doing anything? Because it's all just a thing. It's all just set up, and it's all just run, and it's all just already planned in the plan books. I mean, I don't know. I mean, for that seems a little resignationist to me, in terms of like the stuff that could actually be worked on. That would I think would still alleviate, would still do something for it. You know, you're probably against any kind of gun law change. I'm definitely, if I was in Nevada, I would definitely be for it. Even though people already have the guns, it's a tricky situation. At least some kind of stricter, like, you know, go to more classes, pay a larger fee so that you're serious. Have to go, if you have a better database developed where, you know, anybody mental health or whatever it is, like there could be something, but it's like any of that might be in some the most broad or radical or the most far you know, Second Amendment people's point of view, anything could be an infringement on the Second Amendment in those regards. But like the fact is, like, you know, people out in what I heard about that gun law in Nevada back like 10, 15 years ago. Oh, it was like 10 years ago. I had a friend from there, and he was telling me about, yeah, you can get assault right. You can have all these crazy, you know, there's like tours, you can pay money to go out in the desert and shoot these crazy like assault rifles. And a lot of rich people have like, just like they have dune buggy hobbies. Like it's like, there are people are out in the desert, you know, firing off like crazy ass like automatic rifles and stuff. And that's how, like, that dude had all that stuff legally. So if the law was cut down to where you couldn't have those 100-round clips legally, you know, per second, whatever the hell, and things a couple seconds, if you couldn't have that, and the guy was pulled over on the way to the casino with one of those guns, he would have been arrested and brought to jail if it was in another state. But in Nevada, he would have been like, okay, on your way, sir, have a nice afternoon, like, because that's the gun laws, and the gun laws matter. I think, you know, working on gun laws, working on the other issues that could potentially relate to that issue, maybe even culture. Although, you know, I don't think culture is all the way to blame. But I mean, we have wars going on. We have cops, you know, and such a hostile environment where Americans like are so bitter against each other about the issue of the police and stuff. White lives matter or Black lives matter, blue lives matter. I don't even know. Where people are just very you know, maybe that's like something by design. Maybe the people against each other are divided. I don't know, but there's definitely guns through and throughout our culture, like, you know, and we could do something.
Ben, would you
promote that lady? Tell the story of that lady, Susan, that, or what's her name, that jumped in front of the bus and saved 3 kids. Like that's something that happened at school that people could talk about around the country. I don't know if they did, but I heard.
Or we could be talking about how we could just stop the wars. If we really want to get rid of our guns, why don't we let our military get rid of their guns, so we could just stop killing people outside of our country? I mean, that's actually more of a threat to us than people within our own country, because eventually it's going to bite. We're going to get bitten back from all the stuff that we're doing out there. I mean, I'll even ask you, why are we in the Middle East? Why are we fighting?
We've been, I mean, Europe's been in the Middle East for 300 years.
So why are we, so do you know why we're fighting them now? Why we're bombing them?
Been a long history. It's been a long history of people, a lot of different languages, a lot of different cultures in the small little Mediterranean area.
But I just want to ask you, do you know why we're fighting them? Why we're bombing the mother of all bombs?
Well, I mean, they're pretty unified. Don't they have a single language, like all the way from like basically like all the way to like you know.
Can you ask?
I guess it's like Persian or like Persian and like Urdu at some point, but at one point, like the Arabic Empire.
Okay, wait, stop, please, Ben. Like Ben, stop, please. I'm asking you a question. Do you know why we're fighting them? I mean, you can just say no, I don't know. Or yes.
They're a very formidable culture and religion and mass of people, and we used to meet them as Christendom.
Please stop. I'm asking you a question. You can just say yes, no, I don't know. Do you know why we're fighting
in the Middle East? Because like if we weren't in the Middle East, then there'd be some kind of like, I don't know, probably like even much larger power than Saudi Arabia, who wasn't as friendly with us and selling us oil with the right rates. I don't know. I really don't know. Let me go with I don't know.
Goes deeper than that.
So, I mean, isn't that something that you should know? We should know. Everyone in the United States should know why we're actually out there fighting them.
Maybe. I mean, it's a dangerous world out there, and you know, I'm not sure what I should know. Honestly, I'm not sure what that is. I don't have enough information to say. Honestly.
But why don't you have that information to say?
Because there's some things I believe that maybe we shouldn't know. But I think that that what we're doing and what we've been exposed, we're doing in Syria, what's like playing out in Syria with this long, slow, battle happening there. Like that's if we're doing messed up things, then we're doing messed up things.
Whoa. So we're killing and bombing millions of people for reasons unknown, and you shouldn't know that information. You're okay with that?
And out of all the information of why we were there, some of that information might be information I shouldn't know.
Oh, wow.
Might be context and parameters and like situations that it would mess up, or that
say you shouldn't. Are you okay with all those deaths? Are you okay with our military just killing or even torturing people outside of our country?
If I voted for any candidate on any ballot anywhere, would it really matter towards the environment?
It's not about it's not about who you're voting for.
What does it matter what I care? You got to convince people.
Yeah, I want to know if you care. Do you care that we kill?
Convince people.
Ben, please. I just want to ask you a question, and I just want an answer, a simple answer. Do you care if people outside of our country are killed by our military, hundreds or millions of them? Do you care?
Yeah, I think I care more than the average Joe, probably, because I know a lot more background information about it than probably the average Joe. But it doesn't mean that I'm an expert about it. It doesn't mean that I have answers.
But shouldn't you go and find the answers as to why, and see if it's something?
It's kind of like Medicare, isn't it? Isn't it kind of like Obamacare has been like a 10-year debate? Like you can't. It bogs you down. It's like
it's simple.
The whole anti-war thing that was like, going on for like 6 years with Bush or whatever, in his entire last 6 years of his presidency, anti-war. I mean, how long can you be anti-war before you realize your anti-war things are fruitless? It's like, what's the point? What's the point? It's a kind of apathy, I guess. But it's not.
Let's go back. Let's go back through history. World War II. Do you think that was necessary for the United States to get involved in World War II?
Why does it matter what my opinion is about, especially past wars? Honestly.
Because it matters, because it reflects what might matter now.
Earlier,
I mean, everything that we know now is based off of history.
Yeah, and that's hindsight.
Please, Ben.
Ben, quit talking over him.
I let you speak on long tangents, but please, when I'm asking or when I'm talking, please let me have my time. The reason why I'm saying that it matters what we did, what do you think of wars in the past, because it matters of wars that happen now, if it's in the similar context. Everything that we know now is based off of what we know off of history. I mean, everything is based off of what we learned through history, what we learned in our past. That's all I'm trying to say. Go ahead, Ben.
No, I mean, I'm definitely anti-war. Absolutely. 100%. I'm a pacifist. But I just, like, in my own personal way, I guess I'm not altogether pacifist, though, because, I believe in self-defense. So there you go. It's just like with my personal self.
Hi, caller. Who is this?
Hey, Ebon, it's me, Nash.
Hey, Nash. How's it going?
Hey, Nash.
Hello, everybody. Much love. How's it going?
Good. Is there something you want to chime in?
I thought I'd just lurk for a minute and sure. You guys continue.
That's okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Amanda.
Well, we have got to always make sure, well, not we, the government that we have has to make sure it's the wealthiest and it's the most powerful country of all. And so it's got to get involved in all these other countries to protect the oil fields that help them keep in that power. And if one country takes control of their land, then they have oil rights to them.
Do you think it's just oil? Do you think it could be more than just oil?
Whatever it is, it's on their land. That's what it's just.
I think Amanda's onto something. Yeah, I think it definitely is resources, money, pipelines. It's control. It's it's like this is ours.
Like that whole thing with Assad and everything. There's a pipeline that goes right along where the rebels were, and the rebels were protecting that oil, that long piece of oil, and that's how come all that crap was happening. Can't let Israel not have control over Israel and
Ebon. Ebon, you saw that video with General Wesley Clark where he talked about invading, 7 countries, after 9/11 or something. Yep. Like that should explain a lot.
Wasn't Wesley Clark running for president, like on the Democrats?
Yes, that was in 2008, I think. He's one of the.
Might have been 4. I mean, maybe it was both.
I'm not sure. I think it. No, because 2004 was John Kerry.
No, I mean like just in the primaries.
Oh, I know it was in the primaries. I don't know. It might be 2004, 2008. It was one of those. But let's see. Also, did you know that Nash? You probably saw in one of the other videos. Dan Pena, one of those wealthy billionaires. He said there's 20 things. I mean, he called that if Trump was going to run for president, that he was going to win, and and he said that if he does, there's 20 things that he would do, and he said so far 17 of them came true, and the 3 that hasn't come true yet was that Trump hasn't bombed North Korea, he didn't bomb Iran, and he didn't bomb Syria. I mean, I think that's going to happen. I mean, being right 20 out of 20, I mean, that's pretty, I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Well, we're certainly sized up to pound North Korea. We have how many carrier what are they called? Naval command groups, and that's not the right term.
I know what you mean. I don't know the right term either. And I'm from. I was in the Navy, so don't do that.
I like that, dude.
I mean, I certainly hope not. And there's conspiracy about North Korea also being run by the CIA. And there's conspiracy about North Korea. If you look at Kim Jong-un and his family and where they went to school, there's just a lot. I mean, they just play with us. The world is a stage.
Yeah, and isn't it interesting? They call like warfare in different parts theaters. It's a theater of war. Everything's yeah.
And my whole thing to solve it is quit giving them attention. Quit feeding them. If all of us just ignored everything from now on and just started posting food pictures and warm fuzzy puppies and just totally ignoring it, after they would lose their power.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think it would be just everyone out there just create their own news and don't share it with anything that's in a big powerhouse of a network. For example, the Weather Channel, where they get a lot of their coverage of people who actually just film live when it's happening during a storm. And they actually have so many people on Twitter and YouTube saying, hey, can we use this? Hey, can we use this? And what happens is, yes, you may use it. Yes, you may use it. Yes, you may use it. And you see on their Weather Channel page, they've got all this footage that people watch, like thousands of views, hundreds of thousands. And it's just some ordinary person just recording it and sharing it. If we just ignored that one conglomerate media source like the Weather Channel and just denied them of using people's material.
What did the Weather Channel ever do to you, Ebon?
Oh, they shut me down twice.
Oh, they did? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right. They do the first blow. Like, I don't know. Do the first blow,
I mean,
the founder of the Weather Channel has denied global warming is real.
that sucks. But I was gonna say like, but still though, despite all that, it's still if you're the Weather Channel, like if you are the Weather Channel, it's a pretty damn good business model. Like you'd be pretty happy with that model, how the operations there.
What
developed it to be.
The thing
as
is,
long as those Federal Reserve notes keep coming in.
Yeah, and they keep.
I have something to say about that.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to tell Snork. I think they should take all the gold or whatever, like Federal Reserve. Does Federal Reserve have gold anymore? I don't know. Take all the gold we have and melt it down and put it in every product that's made. That way, people have to recycle it. And then just go ahead and make all the products like to where they can be broken down and recycled. Maximize that, and then everybody's gonna recycle because I feel like $1 gold. There's like I don't know, $1.50 or something worth of gold in everything.
A lot of silver gets wasted. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. All that.
Sorry and thank you.
No problem.
That's why I got this one. I did things with mine. This is a silver spoon. It's like I make stuff with it.
Well, like copper or whatever is so useful, isn't it? I mean, like for, transferring heat, and then for fighting germs, like copper's like antibacterial all by itself or some crap, and then I guess you mix it with different metals and like make all these bronze or whatever. I don't know, whatever it is.
And it's used. It's used to.
There's bronze, the original thing. I don't even know. See, I'm retarded, but yeah, like that's it kind of fascinates me. So I did look it up, but I totally forgot it.
It's used to make meth too.
Sorry, I'm looking up something that it's kind of got me thinking. So, do you remember maybe back in the past? I was never someone who cared about diamonds, but brown diamonds, they're the most common color variety of natural diamonds. And basically, every time anyone found it, they just kind of got rid of it. And it was like worthless because
You're kidding.
So common. Now it's very much in style. They very make it. They really spend a lot of time to say that, hey, these are the diamonds now to get. Oh, look at that. Pretty pricey. And they call them chocolate diamonds. They don't call them brown diamonds anymore. They call them chocolate diamonds. And then I guess, look, there's naturallycolored.com.
Oh my God.
What?
I'm just laughing.
What's going on? Got a case of the giggles.
Why?
If you could,
because
glass
sometimes
plastic.
Wait, let me
sometimes I just laugh.
Okay.
What? Okay, why did you laugh though? What got you to start laughing?
Chocolate diamonds.
I think it's a dumb name, like the brown diamond. Maybe it's just because I heard brown diamonds first. If you would have said chocolate diamonds and then said brown diamonds, I might have liked chocolate diamonds.
How much sleep have you had, sweetie?
Nash, I think Nash needs a constant because I think you're going crazy.
You need a nap, baby.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty funny. It is ridiculous. I'll give him that.
I'd rather.
Okay, I'm gonna walk to the kitchen. Put the phone down.
I would much rather this than fighting. Oh my God, I love it. I love you tonight, Nat. Well, I love you all the time, but
yeah,
someone's calling them poop diamonds now.
Nice. I think that's already like for like smuggled diamonds or something.
All right. I don't know. Got here again. Wrong hole we're talking about, guys. Rabbit hole.
That was not me, though.
Yeah, I think that was Nash.
I'm just laughing.
Did you laugh so hard that you farted?
Did I?
I think you might have. Sometimes it happens. All that pressure builds up. Okay. Let's talk about.
Well, there goes our serious politician that was lurking.
You know, we pretty much have. Oh, another thing that I want to get to. Naomi Wolf was talking about, and I actually want to cover it. I don't know. Yeah, people who are probably watching probably aren't watching anymore. The amendment to get rid of the that allows the United States government to make propaganda against its own citizens. That's legal now. I just wanted to show people the actual amendment that passed into law. This was back in 2011, 2012. I had the link, but it's going to take me a minute or two to find it. Do you guys want to keep talking about something, chocolate diamond?
I bet the person that came up with chocolate diamonds got like $1 million raise that year. You know, you're like, yes, came up with chocolate diamonds today, and you know, that's their claim to fame. You know, like I worked for 2 years collecting the salary so I could come up with this genius idea. I just thought I'd bring the attention back around to chocolate diamonds, because in lack of anything else, I mean, you know, it'd be fun to start a whole YouTube channel praising them and just speculating on everything. Just search every search engine, click on every link.
All right, this is hold on. Serious mode. So I'm looking into it. So I just did a Google search, and it links to BuzzFeed News. This is back in 2012. Congressman seeks to lift propaganda ban. Guess who was the author? Michael Hastings. You guys know Michael Hastings? He's the guy that kind of died under suspicious.
Yeah, he had a car wreck that was controversial.
I mean, wow. Well, this is one of his articles. Goes in pretty in depth about the what it's doing. I'm not doing it. I want to actually link to the actual amendment in Congress.gov. I just thought I wanted to point that out. I didn't notice that the first time I accessed that link to find out more information. That sucks.
And Andrew Breitbart, also untimely, when he was calling out John Podesta and calling out a lot of people before people were even awake.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. Let's see. Why can't I found it before. I wish I would have mailed it to myself. Sometimes I do that just so I have it ready, and I forgot to do it. Okay, here, I think I found it.
Ebon, did you go down that rabbit hole with John Podesta and look at the artwork and his brother's artwork? And okay, yeah, really, really creepy.
I mean, if all you had to do was just show me those pictures or those paintings, and I'd be like, "Yep, pedophile." it just, yeah. You didn't.
Yeah.
You had me at hello. So, okay, I found the first part. This is the actual HR House resolution that he wanted to incorporate. It was introduced, but they didn't do anything with it. What they ended up doing was adding it into the budget for 2012, the defense budget, I think. I'm just trying to find things that are related to it. Related bills. Where could it be? Sorry. I am not a journalist, so I am not very well prepared. I just like diving. I was a diver before. Did I ever tell you about my diving story while I'm looking for this? Well, I wasn't very good at swimming. I was good at short distances, but I was never one that practiced. And I mean, my body type is I'm one that sinks rather than floats. And I've got kind of a stocky-ish body, a long, slender body, but short legs. So it's not really good swimmer's body as far as distance. So I would swim like the 50 meters. That was like the longest distance I would go. And then I'd be on the relay team for just doing that freestyle. So I joined the dive team because there was no one on the dive team. So I just dove and try to get us points because we'd get 0 points if no one was on the dive because it's swimming and diving. Anyways, I was kind of horrible at it. I would go off the springboard and sometimes I'd go, whoa, and belly flop. And my body would be all red. And then I'll go up again. And people were afraid of watching me. There's like, oh no, he's gonna belly flop again. And then I'm so distracted by it. Everybody just kind of like, oh no, you can't watch. And it's one of those I can't watch, but I want to watch. I dive off again, and then I belly flop again. And I always wore trunks, swimming trunks, and usually wear those speedos. And then finally, they made it so as a team, we had to wear those speedos. And I was like, I have hairy bush, and I'm like, do I tuck it in? Like all the hair? I'm serious. I had to look at other people's crotches, which I don't like doing, but I needed to know what do I do here? It's like, do I just let it all hang out? And
I guess we were all raised to be crotch watchers.
And so the first time I went out wearing those speedos, I just let it all out, all my bush. And I was so self-conscious that every time I dove out that swimming board, I would just mess up. And I was just so self-conscious. And then I was just so self-conscious. I was like, okay, I'm gonna trim. And I'm serious.
The speedos.
Yeah, they should just allow swimming trunks. I was comfortable in them. I swam fast with those swimming trunks. Oh man. But yeah, you had actually guys in the swim team that would just shave their entire bodies. But me, I was just, I don't know what to do. No one tells you what to do. It's not like I could ask my dad. I don't think he ever did that. It's like, I guess I could ask my coach, hey, coach, what do I do here? That's not a very comfortable conversation either. Anyways,
oh man. Oh man.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
for anyone who's wanting to try out diving and have to wear Speedos, yes, trim, shave, don't let it hang out. You're just going to draw more attention if you let it hang out. All right. That distracted me. Please, someone can continue and talk about something. Let's see.
Did you have a pool? Did you grow up with a pool when you were a kid?
Yeah. So the first time I actually swam in a pool where I didn't have those little floaties on my arms, I went with my brother. This was in Dallas, Fort Worth, and he said, "Yeah, just go in and kick. You'll do fine. You'll he's." And so I did. I went in the water, let go, and I was like staring up, looking at my brother, and he just laughing at me. I'm like, because I didn't know how to get out from the bottom of the pool. I didn't know how to kick myself up. And so some guy in his full clothes had to dive in and get me out of there. And he's like yelling at my brother. He was like, "Hey, you're letting your little brother drown." He's like, "I thought he was just playing around." Because I just
oh my god,
my body time.
wow.
I was just so I was like under the water for like an hour, a minute and a half. I was like trying to get my brother.
I want to brag really fast. And say that like I saved like 2 people's life from drowning, or at least I remember it that way. I was like 5 before I was 5 years old.
Before
like
5.
I remember it was like the first time was more profound and significant. Like this, I was at like this 4th of July party. My parents didn't know there was gonna be swimming, so like I didn't have a swimming suit, so I was in like pants, couldn't swim, and so I was like all bummed out, just like sitting by the pool and like watching people swim. And I just happened to just like I don't know why sit there and hang out there with the pool because where all the kids were, I guess. And like there was like nobody paying attention at one point, and like somebody like literally like drowning, or like I don't know. It seemed like maybe that was the kid's memory thing, but like I just remember everybody like panicking and freaking out, and running and grabbing him, and like it was like a thing. So like I do remember that like it was a big issue, and he was like freaked out and shit. And the other time was my sister. My fucking mom just wasn't paying attention. I was at my neighbor's house, and just wasn't paying attention. I was up on like the deck next to the pool, and my sister just goes under. We're all sitting there talking to my neighbor. And, that one was kind of effortless. It was just like, actually, both of it was effortless. It was just like yelling at people, getting people's attention.
Yeah, it was crazy when we were like 6, 7 years old. We had a pool in the backyard of our house, and my friends would come over and just jump in the pool and then flop around like flounders. They couldn't. I was like, oh my god. Even back then, I was like, oh.
Well, Evan, congratulations! You took me down the deepest rabbit hole I've ever been in.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry if I intersected or jumped in at a bad time. I was reading something, so I wasn't paying attention at all.
When you were talking about your bush. It's like
You're talking about what now?
When he was talking about his bush, it's like, oh wow.
I just heard like a story about you almost drowning. I was like, oh my god! When I was a kid, I was like 2 instances. It was weird. Like makes me. I think it affects my character. I think it affects me now. Like I don't know, partially just genetics, but I'm like always like worried and like alert and like looking around and shit, and just like I'm just like that. I'm like a high strung like anxious person who just like worries too much, I guess, or like what I mean, like can over worry things or like get like small things. So I guess like we have to like learn perspective in different ways, because like I'm thinking in something in my perceptions, or like exercise my perception and like learn perspective also. So yeah, if I'm thinking something in my perceptions, like then I have to like figure out what that is, or like if my perspective is like not right, and like I'm like over worrying about something too small or something like that, or something that like maybe it isn't the first thing I should maybe there's something else I should be I don't know, anyway. But like I guess I know I'm watching kids now, and it feels like that same similar thing, like just like having to watch them all the time. My daughter this morning got into a old McDonald's bag that we didn't pick up from yesterday and ate part of a freaking spicy chicken sandwich. So that was all the time. It's all the time. It's something. Then it's just like, so you drop your guard or you don't watch her for 1 second. She was in her bed.
I want to be a lifeguard.
That's not a bad job. Like, easy, right?
I know you stay tan all the time. You know.
Or you got an umbrella, or you can just kind of whatever.
It's easy until you actually have to save someone, and if you fail, that's gonna.
It'd be easy for me because I'm already attentive. Like, anyway.
Oh wow! I just looked up about the chocolate diamonds, and the chocolate diamonds are. No, can you wait? I can't talk over. The Levian's proprietary brand of natural fancy color diamonds that are, and I don't forget the 4 countries, but that are chosen for their rarity and chocolate flavor. So they even taste like chocolate.
So, like, apparently gold is going to be used in medical treatment.
Well, wait, I'm not done, Ben. And then the Levian owns the international registrations for the chocolate diamond trademark worldwide. So that's how they. But who's going to lick the ring?
I thought it was funny that you brought that up so serious and then didn't expect for people to like laugh.
Well, because I can't, I've got a cold and it's hard for me to talk, and I can't talk over everybody laughing. I'm really sick tonight.
That sucks.
Haven't you been sick for a while? You got bronchitis.
I have gotten 4 different things. I do this during this time of year.
I wish it'd be great if you could quit smoking cigarettes, but that's a big if.
1 second. Who's 469?
Hey, it's Sage from Texas.
Who?
It's Sage from Texas. I called a couple of weeks ago. We talked about some shit. Hold on, I gotta cut down this shit in the background.
Yeah,
we talked about that law, that election lawyer, and Mike McConnell and shit. It was probably a month ago or so.
Okay. Can I get your name again? I'm just having trouble remembering.
It's Sage. S-A-G-E.
Oh, Sage. All right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw your video earlier going over Bill Cooper and shit. So I haven't been on tonight watching it. I just hopped on to see what's going on.
It's good. You didn't have to listen to my story about my diving days.
Oh, I heard somebody say something about lifeguard. I was a lifeguard in high school, and let me tell you, how when you're working, the clock goes by quicker. Mm-hmm. Dude, I remember looking up at the clock and thinking like maybe 2 hours had gone by, 3 hours. It had been like 45 minutes. I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So what's going on? What are y'all talking about now? What y'all got going?
So right now, and I'll just share, I'm trying to find details of the part where it shows the legalization of propaganda of the U.S. government. And,
with Naomi Wolf?
Yeah, so HR 5736, the Smith Month Modernization Act of 2012. Representative Mac Thornberry, he's a sponsor, so he introduced it, but it didn't get anywhere. It just kind of got added into the
Thanks, Congress.
HR 1540, which is the National Defense Authorization Act of fiscal year 2012, which became law. and I'm just trying to find the actual text where we can see that it was added in. And so,
have you ever
voted for that?
Oh,
who voted
dude,
for it?
yeah, there's a list. Did you ever watch
Yeah.
The Same Progressive? She did a good video on it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. All you have to do is you go into the .congress.gov site, get to the bill. Here's the actions, and you can see before it gets presented to the president, the Senate votes for it, and you can see the record vote number. And if you click on that, that'll give you a breakdown of who voted for it to pass. So this is the roll call, and you can see either by alphabetical by senator name or group by vote position, which is all the people who say yay and all the people who say no or non-voting.
Can you see if Bernie Sanders voted for that?
Yeah, he said no, nay.
Okay, well, all right. Because apparently I'm a Russian troll. He said I was a Russian troll.
Yay, join the rest of us.
Yeah, I think we're all Russian trolls in here, huh?
Holy shit. Come on, Bernie. Come on now.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to keep looking. I'll give you the people links, so if they want to find it themselves, they can go ahead and do so as well.
That's cool. I'm just here. I'm here having good talk. I'm here gaming, you know. Got my headphones in. Get some good conspiracy talk in.
Yeah. So how much did you do you know about Bill Cooper? Because I've just kind of started.
I know a lot about Bill Cooper.
So give us the breakdown of the stuff that you know
all right. So I found out who this dude was in 2013. And I was living in Denton with my roommate. We're going to college at UNT, University of North Texas. And, you know, I've always been into stuff. It was kind of like, you know, when I was really getting into, like, starting to wake up and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I found this Bill Cooper, and I started listening to him, you know. And when I listen to, like, Alex Jones, I can't listen to Alex Jones because he's just full. You know what you could tell. You can almost you get pretty good at seeing maybe who's disinformation. You know, just the way he acts and shit. So at first, you know, you go into listening to Bill Cooper and you're looking for, you know, because some of the stuff he says is outrageous. Mm-hmm. But then a lot of the shit he says is like, you know, like with the Bin Laden shit before the 9/11 ever happened, a couple of months before, he was warning. He has it's on one of his shows. You can look it up, and he sits there and he warns everybody, this is what they're going to do. They're going to blame it on him. We were friendly with them in the 80s. There was a CNN reporter found his cave. And you remember that? They interviewed him in like 1990. You remember that?
Yeah.
So I was a kid and I remember that shit. But he talks about it. He's like, what they're going to do something and they're going to blame it on him. Yeah. And this is before 9/11. This is like, so then I was like, holy shit. And then the way he died, I was like, dude, so sketchy. Like,
exactly.
Way sketchy.
And we know that Bill Clinton, he made sure that the IRS always went after them, all his enemies. And
and I found him in WikiLeaks. I found him in WikiLeaks, like in the old cables.
Wow.
So you know how so just a couple weeks ago, because I always like search WikiLeaks, the website, and there's like the old Carter cables and shit, like from the 70s that they have, and maybe there's like I've typed in his name and I found a couple of documents with him listed on it. So, dude.
Also, I showed this before, and I'll go and share it. But Bill Cooper, he was saying, because he did an interview with Alex Jones way back.
Yeah, he said he was full of shit.
Yeah, this is what he said.
Before we get started, I have to clear up a little discrepancy here. Apparently, the other night, or within the last week, because I've been getting a lot of email about this, and I even received one telephone call. Apparently, somebody called the Alex Jones broadcast.
Bill Cooper destroys Alex Jones.
Asked him why he didn't have me on the air, or asked him something about me. Alex Jones said he had me on the air once before, several years ago, and had to cut me off the air because of the foul language that I used. So on the air tonight, I'm going to tell you, Alex Jones, you are a whole-faced, miserable, stinking little coward liar. Let me say that again, so there's no mistake about it. You can all tell Alex Jones that I said this, and I suspect he's listening because he does. Alex Jones, you are a bold-faced, stinking, rotten little coward liar.
Bold-faced, little, rotten, stinky-faced liar.
Yeah, he broke it down.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, it's like he was the Alex Jones before Alex Jones got popular in a way.
Oh yeah, I think I think they got rid of him, and I think Alex Jones was a creation. You know, kind of take over that spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh yeah. He, after listening to that I'm telling you, that there's something to that Bill Cooper. I'm telling you, it's just, you know, when you're watching somebody and you just think, you know, all right, maybe they're full of shit, or they could be full of shit, but dude, Bill Cooper is just confident. The way he speaks, like I said, you can look him up in WikiLeaks, the website.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was murdered. He was murdered very, you know, like just even if you look up how he was murdered, like on Wikipedia, it's even like it's just super shady. Like undercover cops were trying to lure him off his field. You know, they were not dressed in uniform. Like the shit is weird as fuck.
Yeah. When you did the search for Bill Cooper in WikiLeaks, did you use his like Bill Cooper, or did you use?
I used William Cooper. I used Milton. I used like a different variations of the name, like Milton William Cooper, William Cooper, Bill, like, and then I found a couple from in the 70s. I wish I would have. I might have screenshotted them. Let me see. I always screenshot shit and put it in my photo album.
Meanwhile, can I ask a question?
Go for it.
What is that bill that was signed or whatever for the voting booth to allow Homeland Security agents?
Oh, the one, I don't think it's passed yet, but it's the one Tulsi's trying to introduce.
Yeah, do you know the name of it?
Let me see. I can get it for you real quick.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Sorry, everyone. I'm silent because I'm just looking through Wikipedia. Maybe I could share that so you guys get some excitement over here. Let's see. So I'm searching for Milton Cooper. Let's see. And I don't really see anything yet. I mean, John Milton Cooper. Because I tried searching for Milton William Cooper and I didn't really get anything. So
you're on WikiLeaks?
Yeah.
This bill is
I did find a lot of Bill Coopers, but nothing really.
And I searched in the exact phrase, like, you know, only these were, you know, it was like one of the search criteria is a little different. It's like just these, you know, just these words.
Yep.
The bill's called, it's the H102.
For what?
Oh, she asked what that bill was that Tulsi was introducing.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's the H102.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Let me get on WikiLeaks.
He calls me ma'am. You guys don't.
I'm sorry. I'm from Texas. I
love
call
it.
everybody ma'am.
I actually like that.
I was born in Texas. I was born in Houston, and the one thing, the only thing I keep saying that I still say is y'all.
I say it every day. I text message it. Y apostrophe ALL or something. You know, growing up, I even had teachers say, "Oh, that's not a real word." I swear it's a word. It's a real word now.
Anyways, I can't find it in WikiLeaks. If you ever find it, Sage, can you just?
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay. Do you want to throw up a hyperlink over or in I don't know. Oh, actually, yeah, you could throw the link on here in our chat. Actually,
yeah, let me. I can get on YouTube on my phone. I have it on my. Let's look at here. The Kissinger cables. That's where I think I see it.
Oh, okay. I think I'm.
Oh yeah, it was definitely in the Kissinger cables. Yeah, William Cooper William. Then there's a William G. Cooper that's different.
Mm-hmm. I can't get it.
In America. All right, so here I'm gonna send you a link, and I'll get on. Hold on.
Ooh, there's an A. I mean,
can I send you? You do the link in the chat.
I have to see it. You may just have to do like instead of the WikiLeaks.org, just put the stuff after that.
Oh yeah, it's too long.
Here's Kevin. I can't see it.
Do you have Twitter?
Yeah.
Let me just send it to you on Twitter.
Okay. I'll look for it.
What's your Twitter?
At Tequila Mockingbird, but the Mockingbird isn't a full word. It's TEQUILAMCKNGBRD. It's if you look in the YouTube description, you can see it.
Yeah, I see it. I see Tupac.
Okay.
Follow me. See if I can send you a.
Just waiting for it. But yeah, I always feel like
I just tweeted it to you.
Okay. I'll see if I
if you got it.
Anything. Nothing yet. What's your?
It's the Sage who does it. Or no, it's Sage Yes Baby.
Sage USA?
Sagey, so SAGEY.
Yep.
SBABY.
SBAGY?
Sagey F Baby. So it's like, like Weezy F Baby, the rapper. So Sagey F Baby.
Okay. Sage Watson.
Yep.
Okay. Why? Oh, I see it. There you go. So people who want to see it. Oh, it's too long.
It's long. And that's in the Kissinger cables. You can once you enter the link I gave you, you can go you can filter. It says like there's with that name, there's secret congressional reports, 10 of them. Cablegate 1, Carter Cables 1, Carter Cables 2, there's one. And then the Global Intelligence file says the name comes up 109 times. So there's even more stuff I need to look into it. I hadn't looked into all the Global Intelligence files yet.
Did you guys talk about that damn insane legislation with the kids in front of the fucking White House or whatever?
No.
Because apparently,
when did this become like a day? Like I look on Twitter and it was like, you know, all the kids are leaving. You know, it's the leave school day. Like I've never heard of this.
Yeah,
shit.
this is bullshit. This is the same thing they did in fucking Michigan when they tried to pass bullshit laws. They get all the fucking kids together, they bus them all to an area, they give them an A for the day, and then they just manipulate the shit out of them and give them lines.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's
this has
crazy.
been done.
Like,
I've seen this shit happen multiple times. They bust these fucking kids right into that area. This is just like Charlotte. They bust people fucking in. And literally video evidence.
They were all out there with they were all out there with their skinny jeans on, and you know, you could break it up if you just throw like a few.
There's enough.
Pieces in
there's enough evidence just provided publicly to kind of confirm the Parkland thing was bullshit. I mean, there's enough just on their video that they provided, along with the Twitter of one of the victims. Like Debbie said, I went and looked at that. She's fucking dead on there. Mm-hmm. You know, the helicopter footage, she's fucking dead on there with the report of 3 people being shot outside and then that mysteriously disappears. She's right on there. I mean, with Sheriff Israel and freaking Debbie Wasserman Schultz's district and the insane Baker Act, or not Baker Act thing, but the thing that they wanted to expand it even further, you know, or
hey, and you remember that? Didn't that over the summer that you remember it was a black guy. He was like a lawyer or a district attorney or something. He like they found him in that same district. Remember that?
Yeah, they found him in the fucking water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that was one trying to pursue them specifically for felonies. Or no, was it not for felony? It was somebody investigating them, I'm pretty sure.
That's what they said. I could never get anything confirming it, but it doesn't make sense to me. Like it there's something there. There's like, and then the last couple of weeks, I'll see Seth Rich parents confirmed he was the WikiLeaks. So the last couple of weeks I've been trying to find information on this because I see it, like I see, you know, these videos popping up. Then all of a sudden today I looked on Twitter and Seth Rich is trending, and it's his parents are suing Fox News for the dude.
It's scary, man, because they do want to come for the guns. I mean, we saw Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and we saw Dianne Feinstein. Turn them in, Mr. and Mrs. America. Blah blah blah.
You guys want to know something interesting? What was it? 1774 weapons were banned. 1775 they tried to the British literally tried to confiscate all weapons. 1776 revolution, we killed them all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this is literally you can. There's enough evidence there that they provided enough bullshit in their story that contradicts itself, and video evidence that contradicts the story to prove it's a complete lie. There's enough evidence to prove the kids are being manipulated and bussed in there, and they have no idea what they're talking about. Especially there are kids that said it was bullshit. There are also kids that the scripted lines and all that on the CNN and everything. There's the fact that the fucking kids that are mainly the spokespersons of it just magically get all this attention really quick and just magically get this money.
And then there's a few kids that are upset at those kids and coming towards and saying,
"You want to know something even funnier?
Wait,
you want to know something?"
Hey, Kevin, stop, please.
And then there's kids that are coming out that are calling those other kids liars and saying they're not telling the truth. It didn't happen like that. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, the really, really funny thing I think is those kids are specifically getting shown on the media and all that, literally in drama class.
Mm-hmm. All of them.
That was, oh yeah. This is fucking bullshit.
It's not just.
I mean, CNN. They're caught live. CNN was coaching them, saying, "Don't say that. Say this. Try this." I mean, if CNN gets their paws on it, it's like Disney. Go fuck yourself.
It's actually more than a drama class. It's a drama company that they.
Crisis.
Yeah, these companies, dude. Are they like some of these, like these kids that that they're popping up and that doing this shit? Are they like farming these motherfuckers? Like are they got like some kind of place that they're straight up like raising these kids to abuse or whatever? For
you know how many cults have been in this country?
Come on,
dude, I've heard of the Finders cult.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean,
like that some of that MK Ultra shit, like they're definitely doing. Like, dude, did y'all ever go back and watch that video? So I was in 1990. I was 5, but George Bush, he went on live TV and he's like kind of got a smirk and he's talking about crack and the drugs. Have y'all ever seen that? You can look it up on YouTube. It's creepy as fuck.
MK Ultra is real.
MK Ultra is real. You can't tell me it's not.
Oh yeah, I believe it is too.
You watch these kids go from having persons inside their, and that phrase of looking into the eyes of a person, you're looking at their soul. It's like you can't see anything in there, especially that David Hahn.
Pop stars, these musicians, these celebrities. I think they're used too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, of course they are.
Got a question. Does anybody trust Tulsi anymore?
No.
After this,
absolutely not.
Yeah, Homeland Security, and I don't care. She's trying to say that trying to push the narrative that Russia did hack. Well, Russia did hack our elections, and we're going to do this because like there was election fraud all over that place. That doesn't it's Tulsi. What are you doing? It breaks my heart because I thought it sucks, but
they all break our heart. They all break our heart, and
what
not
I did.
Anymore.
We all hope. We all hope.
Paul come out and say that. At least Rand Paul, but I'm telling you, the good thing about Rand Paul coming out and saying no and talking about all this torture shit, and I don't want these guys in. So now it's the Democrats, which I think they will. I think the Democrats. I think they're going to vote these fucking nominees in.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Hopefully that can help wake up, other, some of these lefters that were going for Hillary anyways, and are still kind of caught up in the fucking matrix. If they could see something like this, maybe. What the fuck are these guys doing?
I don't know, because what woke us up was because Bernie was running, not because Hillary was running. So it takes someone different to wake people up, and if you're actually
what I'm saying is maybe that they'll see when they see that Schumer and these Democrats are going to vote, this Pompeo and this lady into the CIA, the new nominee. Hopefully, if they can see that, if that could register something like this is not right. Like what? So these motherfuckers are the resistance, but they keep voting in. they vote in this lady that had a black operation in Thailand that was
literally destroyed evidence of her own torturing.
Yeah.
These are the people that get tapped on the shoulder. This is the club. I
mean, I find it incredibly weird, or not weird, but insane that, okay, they want to appoint security officials that are literally criminals and provably criminals, all right? And then we know for a fact there's over half of the people running in the 2018 Democratic thing, all security officials, all CIA, all military, all FBI, whatever, you know, all those security organizations. And then on top of that, oh, we just passed this election reform, and now we have literally a CIA, FBI, and literally standing at fucking polling places. And then it's on machines that we just secured through that National Infrastructure Bullshit Act to rob everything more. It's like, okay, I see about 5 layers of fraud stacked on top of each other right now.
Oh yeah. They want it. They need to get it a little. They're trying to. So now, you know, everybody was, you know, bitching that we saw clear election fraud by these guys. So now they're going to be like, well, no, it was because we were hacked. It was Russia, and now we got it fixed. We passed legislation. You know, Tulsi's got a pretty face. Come on.
Russia, 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 with the new white banner, bending for your teeth.
I'd like to bring up, I did have major suspicions about her long ago before anybody else.
Well, I did too.
I had heard something a couple of years ago about her from, it was actually on the Humanist Report. He's like, you know, well, if you go back, Tulsi kind of has some of the things like with the homosexuals and shit. Her little stance on that just not even a long time ago, but she was like. She was very anti, you know, homosexual. Like, and I'm not gay, but I'm for gay people's rights. Like, I don't see. I'm trying to think. Like, I've never been anti. I think even growing up here in Texas, I've never been like. I ever thought that if somebody was gay, that they shouldn't have rights, or you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So for anybody to have that, to think that. You know, it put that out there, but now they changed. I don't know. Like I kind of question your moral character, because why would you ever be in a position to be on like that, have a position as bad as that? I don't know. I don't understand.
It's getting to the point.
Nothing new. This is not new. Like.
I wonder when people
going on before we were born.
Very frustrating. I get frustrated because I just want, you know, you want to. I mean, it's just so easy to see when you're like at a point where we are. You know, you're just looking around, just like you can't even watch anything like you used to because you just see the propaganda, the constant propaganda, and so then even like I have friends that aren't as, you know, don't want to talk politics, but then they won't really want to look into shit. It's, you know, it's too much time. They don't want to watch the videos or have to read.
My family is not awake at all. They all voted for Hillary Clinton. They you know, don't want to question anything.
Same here.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, my mom told me she doesn't want me to, like, she's like, you know, I just want to hang out with y'all and your daughter, you know, I just want to, with the family, be around, we have fun. She doesn't, anything that could cause some uncomfortable feelings about something, you know, or, you know, the way I guess she's thought life is her whole life.
They don't want to question 9/11. They don't want to question anything. I mean, like whatever they're spoon-fed from television is fine with them. You know, only propaganda happens in China. It doesn't happen here.
North Korea. Yeah, well, it's like North Korea. Like, dude, fuck that. Like, that even when people say that shit, it pisses me off. I'm like, dude, y'all don't even fucking, you know, dude, y'all talking about North Korea. Look at the shit that y'all are so fucking fucked that, I mean, it's frustrating. It really is.
It's hard.
Well, you guys better be careful with that new act. You can all be declared insane and have thought crimes. Mm-hmm. You'll be arrested for your political opinions.
All it takes is a pissed off girlfriend.
No, it doesn't even take that. It just takes not agreeing with them. That's all it takes. I mean, you got to think that the big rats
that's what I'm saying.
90% of the time. Absolutely, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You
Kevin, that's always been the game. Always. They always wanted to come for that.
Oh,
This
shit.
past
Disagree?
summer,
You're a terrorist.
They use
So when are people going to stop eating the bullshit? Because there are plenty of people that know of this and know the bullshit that's going on, but they don't want to come together and fix anything.
I think we're fucked. I think we're fucked.
Beyond fixing.
It's fucked. It's fucked. It's like it's. I mean, there's nothing. I don't think there's nothing we can do. I don't think there's going to be anybody coming in. I think they got this shit so fucking like.
All those fucked. Books we read
with global warming too, Paul. I feel like there's no turning back. Even if we started working on trying to fix our, the carbon problem and everything, we're already past the point of no return.
All those books that we read when we were kids, so superhero books, those are lies.
Oh yeah, there's no Captain Planet.
No.
What was it? Earth, Wind, Fire.
And I read that Captain Planet was actually.
Oh, Captain Planet. Sorry.
Was Captain Planet? The Earth. The Earth, Fire. They said that I watched the video and read that a lot of corporations put that are behind Captain Planet, and what it said what it could do was, as a kid, you see like these pollution, global events, but pollution or whatever could be fixed by a superhero, but in reality that can't ever happen. I don't know if y'all have ever read anything about the corporations that Captain Planet cartoon show, but you should look into it. It's pretty interesting. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
See, a lot of these problems still aren't out of the range of being completely fixed. Even the climate change thing isn't out of the range of being fixed. I mean,
nope. They said that we're already past it's already heating up to the ocean's already at a point where there's no reversing it.
It's almost like
I thought the Maldives Islands were supposed to be underwater like 5 years ago.
Yeah, so did I. Remember all those?
Oh yeah, when I was a kid, I remember California was supposed to end up in the water at some point.
Yeah, it'd be a good 100 years before that happens.
Yeah, so I suggest we should just tax the people. Come on, is that the solution, really? More taxes.
Look up the Dark Mountain Project. The Dark Mountain Project. It's a book. It's like these really smart intellectuals that were once activists, and kind of like they woke up, in their process of waking up, they went out to this mountain in Colorado and just put this like a what do they call it, a paper out, they have a, what's it called, they wrote the book. I should look it up. It's super interesting. After watching that, I've kind of been like, man, maybe just on their level, they backed out of everything. They're like ready for the shit to just hit the fan. The Dark Mountain Project.
Yeah, I just shared it. I'm just looking at it now. They're building a new online home. This was in end of January.
Yeah, the manifesto. They created a manifesto. It's really good.
The manifesto.
I think people, I'm seeing this in the chat too. I think people are not understanding exactly what a false flag is. And I think people think that when someone calls something a false flag, that we're saying that none of it really happened.
Yeah, no, it's stuff. That stuff is still happening. You know, going down. They're just got.
It's basically, you know, when you kill someone, like say you assassinate someone and you put the gun and someone and the prints of that gun to someone else, it's that same concept except at a bigger level is basically all a false flag is. So,
yep.
It's like what not hard, but Cruz was used as the patsy.
I just gotta say, Zox in the chat is cracking me the fuck up.
I'm not free. I can't read any of the chat. What is he saying? What are they saying?
Zox is hilarious.
So one thing that
I love you, Zox.
And I agree, Stable. Yes.
And if you don't think the government does false flags, our government, then why would they even pass to make it legal to make propaganda?
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, but clearly they passed it to use it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you think they just passed people? You know, well, they're not gonna. They can use it. They are using it. They wouldn't even pass. Like, what, you know? I don't understand why people be taking up for them so much. Like,
yeah, I wonder what their defense is. Is it, oh, we just want the option to use it in case we need to, but we won't.
Makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
The thing that people don't understand about these kids is that they've been in this community for a long time. It's not like they've had 2 months prior to this event to get brainwashed. They live in like a cult community where they are brainwashed constantly. They live in the Wasserman district, and all those people, and so of course they're going to be brainwashed. But they were primed. They were ready for this. They were groomed.
Just so you know, okay, so me and my wife so my wife is right now in Columbus with a daycare. The daycare, we were like, our daughter, she's 4, told us that they're giving her meat, and we're saying, you don't have to eat the meat. And so we contacted them, hey, can we bring send her like a school, like a home lunch, or just not give her the meat? And they go, no, we have to put down the meat on the plate, but she doesn't have to eat if she doesn't want to. And then, so today was her last day, and my wife is pissed. I'm kind of pissed. So they put down chicken sandwich, and my daughter was eating. She's 4. She's eating peaches, and she goes, "May I have some more peaches?" And the daycare person said, "You can only get more peaches if you eat your chicken sandwich."
What?
Like, yes. And we're pissed, and it's like we even filed like a formal complaint and stuff like that. It's like, hey. We're vegetarians. How can you
eat your pudding if you don't have your meat?
and you know, we say, look, we feed her meat, but it comes from whenever we hunt or fish for it ourselves. We don't like the way that the animals are killed. That's the reason why we want to serve her our food. So, like for example, if I was there, I would probably pack a lunch with like fish sticks or something that I caught and prepared myself. So, or if we had chickens, heck, I'd kill the chickens and have it prepared for her. It's just
chickens are honestly pretty low maintenance.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was just kind of pissed me off. So now we're in another daycare where they dedicate a time to like Jesus time or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's no getting around it in the middle of nowhere.
Oh no.
But it's good enough where they don't force it on it. It's just kind of like a quiet time. I don't mind when she asks me questions or I talk to her about religion. You know, I'll say it's your personal choice. Don't let anyone force it on you, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what
I remember when Jamie Oliver was bringing up all the ingredients and food and what was going on in the schools, and they shut him down big time. Jamie Oliver I don't know if you guys remember, but he was out there like, hey guys, this is what's in your food.
Yeah.
Jamie Oliver.
I don't know about you, but I never ate at school.
I'm from Tuscola, Texas. I sure as hell did.
The British
Jamie
celebrity.
Oliver.
The British celebrity chef.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's that guy.
Okay.
But he actually was pointing out like this is beetle skin. This crap. This is
yeah. It's like, hey, we don't want you telling people the truth about what's in their food because they'll stop eating it and we'll lose millions of dollars.
I tell my 9-year-old because my baby mama, my girlfriend, she's Hispanic, so her side is kind of Catholic. I was raised Southern Baptist, so I still, my mom is, she knows she loves Jesus or whatever, and so I try to tell my 9-year-old, I'll be like, she'll ask me about it. She'll say, "What do you think? What do you think?" Because I don't. Sometimes I'll go to church and I don't go to church. I don't do it, and she'll ask me about it. I said, "What do you think?" I said, "Isabella, think about it. Think about what they're saying. Does it sound right to you?" And that's as far. I won't try to like push it on her like that, too much. But I'll try. What she's even 9-year-old saying. Is this when she's having doubt, she's questioning. I'm like, well, when you read a book, one of your fairy tale books or whatever, do you think that's true? No. I don't. I mean, there's a lot into religion too, like the missing those. Like I think that shit was. Whoever wrote all that shit back in the day, if they knew the shit they caused.
Why do you think they wrote it?
Oh my God.
That was the intention from the beginning.
Oh man. I just can't believe we're in 2018 and we're still having we still have people that are just, these same people that are like super religious vote for these crazy ass fucking politicians, and they like love them and got their back, Ted Cruz is
time flies. There are actually people in America who think that Jesus Christ put Donald Trump in office.
Have you ever seen that picture that somebody made? It's like Donald Trump.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, dude. There's a picture, and it's like Donald Trump signing a fucking one of his bills or whatever, and it's Jesus is like hugging him, kind of helping him. Dude, it's the sickest shit, dude.
Yeah, we don't need to be investigating the Russians. We need to investigate Jesus.
Oh my God!
Did you hear about the
Novichok
the
Russians
thing?
Manipulating everything?
What did you say?
Jesus put him in.
We got to investigate Jesus.
I mean, it's 2018, and we still are like, how primitive and tribal. Like, dude, that's why I think we're fucked.
Your elections are rigged. Your government's against you. If people were American, what would they do that's been done before to circumvent this? I don't know. Form their own communities, hold their own election, and form their own governments?
Yeah.
Constitutionally? Just maybe.
I wish we could get everybody on board to do that right now.
No, they got our culture so fucking busy and fucking full of just
we've let them.
Hey, you guys want to hear something interesting? This is from 1974 copyright Webster's Dictionary. It's page 1103. Politician. Or wait, 1 second. Let me find it. Politician, a person actively engaged in politics, especially party politics, professionally or otherwise, often a person holding or seeking political office, frequently used in a derogatory sense. with implications of seeking personal or person gain. Scheming opportunist. That's the actual definition of a politician. And if you look it up online right now on Webster's Dictionary, they changed the definition of it to try to reflect nicely on them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the worst. Of course they did.
Yeah, when they start changing your words on you to try to twist meanings, you know they're planning something dirty.
Well, they've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, but this is just, they're literally changing definitions. Fucking just go through, go through the list of words of definitions that have been changed just in 2018.
That's what they're doing to these Parkland kids.
Nothing new, Kevin.
It's right. It's new to some people, so it's always good to rehash.
Yep. Okay. Now, by that, Ebon. Is it Ebon or Ebon?
Whatever. Ebon, Tequila, Mockingbird. Okay.
Big E.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. I know it's me if you guys are.
For me, when it happens, when like
I love you, brother.
I love you too.
Like, when that happens, Kevin's only going. He doesn't know it, but he's going, hey, remember this? It's okay. What you went through with those people telling you different today is bullshit. You know, sometimes I need to be reminded that I'm not going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not alone.
That's why we got the constants. You need to find your constant.
Yeah.
It's because, I mean, think about it. You do kind of go crazy. It's like locally, just around here, just people I know, family, whatever, they're friends. It's like I talk to them about this stuff. It's like, yeah, I don't know. You know, it's just I think it's kind of crazy. It's like there's no one else to talk to except now
we deal with some crazy subject matter, and you know, this is not an easy road for anyone. And yeah, you're right, Rebel. Absolutely, love is the only way out. But
I guess that's my.
I mean, the topics and the rabbit holes we go down and talk about, and I mean, it's not easy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we just have to stop their divide and conquer and just unite, and just the only way to really unite is to just like each other, find something about each other that we like.
It's not even liking each other. It's just common goals and working together. We can hate each other and fight each other all we want. That's what MMA's for. We want to hit each other. We can hit each other.
Just the decency, like, you know, just.
I hung my gloves up. I'm done hitting people.
Yeah, me too.
I'm still ready for it. Go ahead, Sage. Sorry.
Oh, I'm just mumbling.
It's up to you, man.
I'm sitting here smoking now. I'm kind of.
Like if I
Stony baloney, so
like if I went in these conversations with somebody, then
I mean,
I used to work at the Tiger Showman. That's what we did. That's all we did all day was just hit each other, boom, boom. You know, I'm tired. I hung my gloves up.
For me, I asked them to just kind of think about it, and but some people refuse to. Some people just refuse the hypotheticals. It's like it's a hypothetical. It's like you believe in God, don't you? Isn't that kind of like a hypothetical?
Oh yeah, that's the best thing to present, because then you fuck them up and they get mad, and then there's someone talk.
I guess that is true.
Well, they call it like cognitive dissonance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
To the max.
Also known as stupidity and gullible.
That too.
It's crazy. Like, I even talked to my dad was, so, you know, my dad was born in 1953. So he could remember when Kennedy got shot, shit. And I'll go over stuff with him, and I'll like, Dad, does this make any sense to you? You know, I'll go over the Vietnam thing, the what is Operation Northwoods that they were wanting him to do. Like, I go over, I'm like, Dad, so I'll be like, so Grandma and Grandpa, you know, why didn't their generation, like, duh, clearly our government fucking, you know, but I guess that's right when TVs were really being used. So I don't know, but put it on them. This bullshit, like I feel like really started this bullshit, and they didn't do. And then my parents, the boomers or whatever, just kind of went, a lot like.
I mean, kind of cutting off their Sage.
That's Dave, isn't it?
No, it's Sage.
Yeah.
It just sounds so close to Dave's voice.
I know. I thought that too.
All right, Kevin, you raised your... I still can't hear you.
I'm putting in my headphones. My bad. I had it on speaker.
Okay.
But no, like what the boomers like. So my dad will be like, Dad, look at this. Like, you think even looking at this again, does this make any sense to you that probably somebody from Cuba or Russia killed him? Does that make sense? He's like, well, yeah, well, it was probably somebody from Cuba. I'm like, Dad, come on, like. I was like, and I said, Dad, do you believe everything the news tells you? Like, if it comes on ABC or whatever you watch, CNN, Fox News, you think that that's the truth? He's like, yeah, why wouldn't I? It's the news. So I don't know how you can change that. Like these people.
Well, the first thing to do I recommend is show them the blatant contradictions within what he calls news that literally proves that they're lying. And also, I'd show them court cases where they've been taken to court and prove they have no obligation to report factually or truthfully. Then I'd also give them the 2012 NDAA Act, the National Defense Authorization Act, which allows the stage events, which allows the bullshit. And then I'd also give them the 2017 Countering Foreign Disinformation Act, which literally says they can lie to you.
Yeah. I mean, I think they closed it.
Amen, Kevin.
But you can show them all this. You can show them all this, but they still won't even believe it.
Here's my plan, because there's a playbook, a blueprint, as some people call it, and it doesn't change because it's worked in the past for other countries throughout history, and we know what's going to come next whenever they hit one stage and the next. And so when we tell them, okay, this is going to probably happen next, and after that, this, and after this, just remember this. I'm recording it. I'm telling you exactly what's going to happen next. And when it happens next, is like, okay, are you with me yet? You want me to tell you what happens next? They'll be like, sure, go ahead. They'll at least be listening because they want to see what happens next. And if it happens, then they're like, wow, how do you know all this?
Maybe you'll see that hamster in their wheel start to move.
Yeah.
That's good, Kevin.
I like your material, Kevin.
Because you can't really force them to look at the past history. I mean, it's just a lot of research. You just tell them something simple as like, hey, I can tell the future. It's like, it's not because I'm a gypsy or I'm a fortune teller or I'm a psychic. It's because
I'm rational.
Yeah. If history repeats itself, and if it's worked in the past, they're not going to change it. So it's just indicators of what's going to happen. And so I'm just basing off of that. And I remember I was telling people way early that Donald Trump, if Hillary Clinton wins the nomination over Bernie, Hillary Trump's going to win. They're just laughing at me. It's like, good one. And it's like, all right, let's just see. And then,
a lot of people laughed at that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had but friends, because a couple of my friends got mad at me because once the Democratic primary was over, they would be wanting to talk about Clinton and fuck Trump, and I'm like, no, fuck this. Y'all just see what they just did. Like, well, no, we can't get Trump in. We can't get Trump in. Why are you voting for Jill Stein? You can't risk getting Trump. Like, bro, what the fuck?
Can we all just sit back and laugh for just a minute? Because, yeah, Donald Trump is our president.
Yeah.
Of all the people to lose to, I mean, I wish I want to run it.
And they'll still take up for it. You know, I have friends that'll say, well, you know, they got these Russians who were on the social media. I'm like, bro, like they want to blank out like the whole Seth Rich thing.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I mean, WikiLeaks has never been wrong about anything, never put out anything false. Why would they just lie now? You know, or why would he just insinuate like?
Yeah,
some people say that WikiLeaks is maybe be a psyop. I don't know. They could go that far, but
I don't know. I kind of, when the U.S. government wants to drone you and execute you and keep you trapped in a room and then tries to extradite you on false charges to a different country to drag you here to get executed, I tend to trust the guy a little more.
Yeah.
I'm hoping if Hillary Clinton runs in 2020, I kind of want to run for president because I mean she has a history of losing to a black person, a white person. I mean,
lose to an Asian person.
Yeah, I'm in, baby.
Break down those barriers, Ebon.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm trying to break a glass ceiling too.
Some of my friends would call me after Bernie did his little speech at the convention, you know. He's like, oh, Bernie killed it. I'm like, I didn't even watch that shit. Fuck you, bro. Oh, well, but Bernie really killed it out there. No, they fucking really killed him. Did you not see what just fucking took place?
Mm-hmm.
I phone banked my ass off for Bernie. So I sat there, I was watching, I was on unemployment too that spring. I had a lot of time on my hands to watch the bullshit go down. And it was going down.
Oh,
I got a question for you guys.
All right. Nash is on a laughing spree.
I think he's still laughing about the Asian thing.
Hey, wait, you guys can still hear me laughing.
Yeah.
I don't know what you said, but it made me laugh. Whatever you just said was funny. Maybe because I'm stoned. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Oh, where are you gonna ask, Kevin?
I'm gonna have to smoke pot. All right, I'm smoking pot. Now you guys are in for a fucking night. I'm smoking pot.
I don't know if I want to keep it going so long. It's been. Did
you look at the Dark Mountain project?
Yes, I have.
What did you think about that? It's a good. They have a little lecture and shit on it. After watching that, you know, I was like, you know what? These might be my These might be my new peeps.
I mean, it's just kind of a sit and wait. I think it's just look if shit hits the fan. No matter what, it's good. I mean, right now, shit is hitting the fan, but it's that slow.
It's like that chunky shit hitting the fan. It only falls off bit by bit.
Yeah, it's like what do you call it? It's, you know how you can just starve out your enemies pretty much. It's damn it.
Keep your friends close.
A war of attrition. So I mean, they have the money, they have the resources, they can just starve us out. You know, just kind of keep, you know, just give us little by little, and eventually we'll just kind of just wear ourselves out.
They're farming us. We're being people farmed.
Yeah.
Now, you make a great point there, Ebon. Now, what would be the best way to mitigate that and to reverse that? You know, okay, let's just say this. Okay, if let's say we all agree we want to follow the Constitution 100%. It's laid down a reasonable set of laws and bylaws to follow. I mean, and basically, you know, as us, I mean, as people, basically, it's you have your rights as long as you don't infringe on someone else's rights, pretty much, right? I mean, wouldn't everybody pretty much agree with that for the most part?
I mean, yeah, the revolution is coming. It's always been coming, but a lot of people don't want that revolution.
Oh yeah,
one law.
But it's gonna
don't hurt anybody.
There's gonna have to be blood. Like I'm telling you, I think if things are gonna change and shit's gonna get turned around, there will be blood. Like There's no get like this. Like, dude, to Donna Brazile, how much Jordan Sheridan confronted her about the emails. Dude, you see her just lie like that. Like, you could, dude, it was so bad. But anybody that would just lie like that, like,
well, she got paid $30,000 a day.
In lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people, like these people that were up against these sociopath, oligarchical, whatever, these fucking maniacs, these megalomaniacs. There's going to be blood. Like, this ain't going to be it won't be a non-blood revolution. I'm telling you, and it's going to be. I think it's going to be ugly if it happens.
I mean, and yeah, it's the longer we wait, the worse it's going to get, the bloodier, the messier, and it's also, I mean, just look how reserved Americans are. We know all this stuff is corrupt, that things aren't right, that we just want to fix stuff and it's not getting fixed. And we've got all these weapons, all these guns that we have, and we don't use them against the people that probably are.
Over 300 million arms and over 1 trillion rounds of munition.
I mean, that's just a lot of reservations about I mean, that's how reserved these people are, these gun nuts, right? All this shit is happening, and we're not having a revolution because we still have hope that the system can change. But when it keeps not changing and it keeps clamping down on individuals and individuals' rights, and more power gets to the government and less stuff is getting to everyone else. I mean, it's one thing for socialism. It's another thing for just, all right, instead of people are so against socialism, and there are reservations about socialism that I have, because I think you need to really work for what you need in life, not just get it for free. But the other alternative,
the 50 billion that we're giving the military every year, like, we could use that for those, the programs, and people like, no, they don't. Who's going to pay for it? Who's going to pay for all these fucking bombs?
Yeah. So so the alternative is, okay, instead of just kind of spreading the wealth out a little bit, we just keep giving it to the people who already have everything. Let's just keep giving it to them. That just seems to be working right. I mean,
the
GI
Bill
has to be a balance. Is pretty much.
Is the GI Bill socialism?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say so. Well, you got to think that. I mean, these meanings have been twisted so much over time that 95% that say them don't even know what they mean.
It scares, like, even just the names, like socialism.
Oh yeah,
it's not nearly as scary to them as you think.
Hold on, Kevin.
Yeah, why is socialism just thrown around as like a random blah blah?
That they beat that shit. It's something they, it's their, dude. I'm like, dude, they shill so hard on, just going back thinking through my life of all the people who are like, oh, capitalist is the best, like, we see how they're lying to us. Mm-hmm. I question even what did World War II and World War I, like, how did those really go down? Because I know that our government lies to us. We see this. They constantly do this. So the only what I'm saying, and they do that. So how do we know what really went down? Like, because I know they're not telling us everything.
I'm under the impression the Nazis won. No, the whole entire country's rebuilt. They have economic control over the whole entire area. This is exactly what they were shooting for to begin with.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. I think you're right. I think the Germans lost. The Nazis didn't.
I think so too.
Their probably plan B was to hide and infiltrate other governments. And just
Prescott Bush, you remember his bank got shut down because of the whole funding, like his Prescott Bush, George Bush's, dad. his fucking bank. He ran a bank with this other guy, and what's his name? They got sanctioned. Like, they had to close down and shit. And he ended up, Prescott Bush ended up started backing Nixon in the 50s. Like, I mean, I don't understand. Like, Prescott Bush was affiliated with the Nazis. His bank was shut down, but then what? I don't understand. That I guess nothing happened after that. Like, I don't understand. But then all of a sudden, George Bush, his son's the head of the CIA from, even when Kennedy was assassinated. And dude, I don't know. Like, I mean,
and who's that guy who they hired for NASA? Who's a ex Nazi? What's his name?
We've got a lot of Nazi rocket scientists.
You're talking about the Van Allen belt, the guy that came up with the Van Allen belt?
Werner von Braun.
Werner von Braun, yeah.
Yeah. And, it's just, yep. Operation Paperclip. Blah, blah, bladger. Yeah, you guys are there with me.
Then,
that's good.
And then, like, the whole Israel thing, like, I feel like I mean, okay, if the Holocaust happened, that sucks and everything, but it's like they like to remind us about this shit on the reg, and just like they have it to where people just love, I swear, especially conservative Republicans, Israel, because the Bible or whatever. Dude, it's absolutely insane.
It's really funny. People look, the Holocaust, but they don't really look at the real atrocities. Like the 30 million that died with Mao, or the 60 million that died under Stalin, or they don't look at the real atrociries. They look at the whitewash history. Like,
did a whole bunch of Russians die too? Like, Russian,
who funded all that?
Yeah.
Who funded all of that?
Yeah.
I have people that want to say the Rothschilds, but I don't know. I mean,
there is a basis and trail for that family.
Look, I'm Jewish, man. I don't have any love for Israel.
Yeah, and it's like a Zionist Jew thing. It's not like, because I say it's because they're doing a lot of bad shit doesn't mean I hate Jewish people. I hate the Jewish people that are doing that. The Jewish people that made a deal with Hitler to get to where they were right now. So during World War II, right before the late 30s, early 40s, the real rich, what they say, the Zionist Jews, people that had all the money, they moved to where they are in Palestine now, and their first coin, you can look it up. The coin that they shared with the Palestinian people was on one side was the swastika, and on the other side is the Star of David. So
I think a lot of the problem is it's not the people. It's certainly not the people. It's definitely the government.
It's the government. It's the people in charge, the Zionists.
And the media, what they tell you to think and what they tell you to,
I don't even consider the Zionists the ones that are the state of Israel. I don't even consider.
Joe Biden said he was a Zionist.
I don't even consider them real Jews.
Yeah, they're not. They're because they're not really. They could be. They're not religious. A lot of them are, non-religious. But if you start talking about that to some people, they'll be like, "Well, you're an anti-Semite." No, I'm not.
No.
I'm not going to say you're an anti-Semite. Hey, I'm 100% Ashkenazi Jew, and that means I'm a fake Jew, right?
I mean,
no.
But you got to think about that. These secret societies probably infiltrated a lot of different places, not just Israel. I mean,
then I've read about the Jesuits.
I read about the Jesuits a lot. I mean, just look at this picture. What the hell is with that artwork? You see a lot of occult symbolism, like that right there. The Pope giving the 666 sign, all this stuff.
I can't see this.
Oh, you mean the Pope protecting pedophiles and
look at all that red and black.
or the Pope saying,
Jesuit
"Oh,
oath? Read the Jesuit oath."
Yeah.
Or the Pope
black dude. That shit look like a.
But I'm the bad guy.
The bad guys, from like a Star Wars movie or something,
You want to know something really odd? The Pope always says, "Oh, you should let these immigrants into your country," and they need so much help. Says the guy with literally a wall around his little sovereign country.
Yeah, I would really love to fucking, dude. What if I knew I was gonna die, like I had some terminal illness? I think I would like to go out trying to get into the Vatican and just seeing if I can, you know what I'm saying, infiltrate, get in, maybe dig some tunnels, get under there. Like, I would like to know. I want to know what the fuck's going on in there.
No, they're initiating child rape.
Well, you might do better by dressing up as a as like a cardinal
Hey,
or something.
I have lackeys and
I make those all the time. Those are nummy.
Aren't they good as fuck?
What do you got?
I'd love to make you some, Nos.
What is that?
Oh, bring them on.
What are y'all talking about? What are y'all eating?
Latkes.
It's a potato pancake, basically.
I don't think I've ever had one of those, but that sounds good as fuck. I think that would be good.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
I like pancakes and I like potatoes and I like potato bread. So, make me some. Send it.
I mean, Jews aren't really known for their food. They're not like the Italians or any other ethnicity, which is like, there's, so many ethnicities that claim food, and the Jews aren't one of them. We have a delicatessen.
Last time I checked, religions aren't ethnicities.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Kevin. Give me a break.
So, as a agnostic, someone who's not really religious, I mean, I have friends who are Jews, who are Mormons, who are Christians, Catholic.
Yeah, but
Muslim.
I know. The religion isn't an ethnicity, but there is an ethnicity to that region. That it's like with the nose, like you see, like they all like.
I think
Jewish. They look. They have a lot of the same features.
I think Nash could explain it a lot better than any of us.
Yeah, there are Jews from different countries that don't have those same features, though, Sage. I mean, sometimes you can't tell, but sometimes, yeah. I mean, it's a little bit different than any of the other religions out there.
Like there are Palestinians with blue eyes.
And there are Palestinian Jews.
Blonde hair.
I have blue eyes.
Yep. So it's just, I think the more we know about each person, each religion, and each person's thoughts about their religion. I know there's there's a lot of ex-Mormons that I know, and there are Mormons that are so, I would think, non-Mormon as far as their behavior. It's like, why are you Mormon again? It's just kind of like my wife with Catholicism. It's just, she likes
why
going
are you
to
Mormon
church.
Again? I think it's the multiple wives.
My wife likes going to a church because it's just that community. Some people just like that community. And also what it can bring you. I mean, Mormon community, I mean, they get hooked up if you stay in that community.
I like this community.
Now there is some, okay, what you said there, I'd like to give two examples. You got the Amish and the Mormons, and you have the really crazy nut ones. Well, they're all kind of crazy to a degree, but you have the slightly more sane ones that kind of form the community section and actually have a base of power in which to extend themselves from. That's how they haven't disappeared, where the rest of the country, apparently, without a cult religion, people can't get along enough to fucking form this. That's what I've been saying. It's like community thing. We can follow the Constitution, abide by all of our rights and everything. Everybody's got their own shit. Everybody's got their own stuff. We just work together so we can create our own productive capacity, our own
don't kill,
economy
don't
in which
kill somebody,
to extend
don't
yourself
kill.
from.
Hold on, we can hear. All right, go ahead, Sage.
Oh yeah, just don't kill. Don't kill somebody. Don't steal.
Well, sometimes killing's unavoidable.
I mean, I think it's kind of simple. It's just like if you are a believer of Christianity, it's like what would Jesus do, type of thing. Would you like it? Just that golden rule. It's like
I'd like to bring up the one thing I recall Jesus said: "Sell your cloak and buy a sword." Or what? Not no specific words, but it's in one of theirs. Like, sell your cloak for coin to buy a sword. I guess in a sense, Jesus was a gun rights activist. Rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them.
I always feel like they did kind of make him a pacifist, like turn the other cheek. But I think he's more of a Spartacus. than
what's up with those books of the Bible that they took out?
Ebon, you're hilarious.
Do you know anything about that, Ebon?
What was that, Sage?
The books of the Bible that they took out. Have you know anything about that?
Oh, that thing's been revised so many damn times already.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the main story goes is one of the emperors in Rome, I believe. It was maybe 5 centuries after Jesus. Is like they just wanted to control the population a little bit rather than have all these insurgent type of fights, skirmishes. So they implemented the Christianity as their kind of the major religion.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they just kind of converged a lot of the different types of.
Well, see, what I don't understand is like, why do the people that are Christians, why? Okay, so they like to read the Bible and stuff. So, but then they know that there's these other books that were taken out of the Bible, like the book, why don't they ever? I never hear them reading about these books or talking about those books. Why do they dismiss them? Even though they're around, like why don't they talk about these Bibles, these other books?
But why if they don't act like Jesus and they always preface everything, the first thing that comes out, well, I'm a Christian. So what does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I try to understand it. Because, like I said, I was born where I was raised, Southern Baptist. But you get older, you read it. I start learning about when I'm not religious, and I was like, I feel like looking into shit. I'm like, well, there's these 5 books that they took out. I just don't understand why they don't. Why y'all don't? Why these? I don't understand. I guess I just really can't understand religion for some reason.
Religion is fucked up.
Yes.
I mean, it's just so crazy to me, like it's always me and my brother both. Once we got out of high school, like, all right, so my mom, I love her to death, but she used to get mad at me if I didn't go to church on Wednesdays. Like she'd want me to go to church with her on a Wednesday. Me and my brother would be like, that sounds not cool at all. Like, it's not what we want to do is go to church on Wednesday night, Mm-hmm. So we were never down with it, but she would get mad. Well, then, when I'm in college, then we find out that my mom had been having a 5-year affair on my dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, how hypocrite, like, she would get mad at us if we didn't go to church on Wednesday, but she was, doing this major, I guess, sin. They call it a sin. It would be a major sin. I mean, it really didn't make sense to me. I was like, Mom,
we had to go through that crap when we were in like, I think it was middle school. junior high school, you know, and we just went through 8 hours of programming, and now I have to go to Hebrew school. Everyone else is outside playing. I want to go outside and play too.
So one thing that I will say is that if you look at the Christian religion, Catholicism, you can sin. Sinning is okay because depending on what religion, you can repent, or Jesus took that sacrifice so to forgive all future sins. So you can go ahead and and sin. As long as you believe in Jesus, you'll go to heaven. It doesn't matter what you do in life. You know, it's like you don't have to behave in a good way. Your excuses, as long as you believe, you'll just get to go to heaven.
Oh, some of these people, they believe hard.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, and I remember having conversations with different ones like baptism and some others. It's like, so if I live a good life, as good as I can make it, not sin and just live like Jesus would live, I guess, just a natural, maybe boring even life, I'll still go to hell because I don't believe in God. And they go, yep. I'm like, well, I'm going to heaven then. It's like, I'm not going to just.
You got to accept him. You got to accept him in your heart. If you don't accept Jesus in your heart, and to make that, to sanction it, comes with the baptism. You know.
What about little children who never met Jesus, or what about islanders or people who just totally are out there who never even heard of Jesus?
Yeah, like the Indians, the Native Americans.
Did they go to heaven?
Yeah, it's just you can tear it up so easily. The logic with the logic. But,
can you imagine how screwed up I was having to go to evangelical Christian church on Sunday, then Hebrew school on Saturday, and then on Wednesday going with my aunt to Wiccan church?
Sounds like abuse.
Wow. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry.
It was what the fuck.
Yeah, I remember some days, nothing like that, but even like days if I spent the night with a friend, on a Saturday, and so I'd go to church with them on Sunday, but then I'd have a couple of friends that when they went to church on Sundays, it was like on all day thing. I just remember being like, fuck this. Even in elementary school, I was like, this is not fun. I'm usually used to getting out of church at noon, and we are going to two like different sets of church time. I'm like, this is not fun. I'm not spending the night with you ever again on a Saturday night.
Yeah, I had the same problem with when I was in the Navy, and we're at like our tech school over near Great Lakes, Illinois. And one of my roommates invited me to go to like a softball game. I was like, hey, that sounds pretty cool, a softball game. He's recruiting for the Baptist church. And I was there, and we didn't even get to the softball until like 4 or 5 hours later. And then after just pretty much like 2-3 innings, we all stopped, and I was talked to about joining the church, etc. for like 3 hours. And I just want to go home. It's like, yeah, I know. And then
you're like, I didn't know about y'all are gonna have me try to buy a condo out here. Like,
I just wanted to play some baseball.
And then, but my roommate, he was such a good recruiter.
Just want to go out and play.
Yeah, he was such a good recruiter. They would pay him they'd buy him these nice suits. They'd buy him plane tickets to go home. They even bought him a truck. It's like, are you doing this because you're getting all this work, or are you doing this because you really want to save people? And it's like, he's like, I just want to really do it to save people. Then why not just do it? Why not just not accept all this stuff?
If I just want to save people, and if I happen to personally enrich myself and not save anyone, oh well.
That's just God rewarded me for doing a good deed.
God says that I can wish or pray for a private jet, and damn it, God's going to give me that private jet. You know,
have you ever seen that? Yeah, have you seen that?
That millions,
that
you know, that
evangelist?
Right.
Can I get an amen?
Sorry.
Yeah, the evangelical. Well, you know, what are they called?
Evangelical Pentecostal.
Yeah, the really rich one, dude. They have a video of him saying that shit.
Yeah. Remember? I mean, these guys are wealthy. Remember the guy asking for?
I'm pretty sure he demanded executions.
Remember the person? Why do you always do that, Kim? Remember the person who wanted
more money than?
Okay, Nash. We need to. Evan has.
I'm listening.
All right, let me say it again. Remember that guy? He was either a preacher or something. He was asking for $1 million or $2 million or something like that for his own private
Creflo Dollar.
Yeah, for $1. There you go.
I mean, even the name,
yeah.
Creflo Dollar. Like, come on, guys. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Who is
like
that?
Y'all are still. Oh, he's a Dallas. He's out of Dallas, Texas. Look him up. Google Creflo Dollar. You'll have a good laugh.
Yeah, I know. I've done that before.
How do you spell the first name?
Creflo. He's
I love you, Rebel.
Televangelist.
And story. Me.
Where'd that come from, Nash? Oh, him.
I've always had a story that I always wanted. It's just one of those just kind of fantasy. Well, maybe not fantasy. It could be even spiritual. Like, suppose that the real Jesus sacrificed himself for all the sinners, but in doing so, he was continuously tortured indefinitely. He is in hell suffering, so no one else has to go in there. And one of the thing is that bargain he had is broken. He just doesn't know it. He's still trapped in there. So the only way to save everyone is to go down there and take his place, so he can go back out there and save anyone, because he can now actually smite the devil or whoever, because the bond, that promise, was broken. And so basically,
where does Lucifer fit in?
Oh, see, I didn't even get to that part. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm interested. That's a better story than what I think they got now.
Yeah, I mean, just
a little fan fiction. I like it. A little fiction on fiction. Hey, that'd be kind of interesting. You should just write it out.
I had Joel Osteen. You know who he is?
You might start by writing that out.
I had him get on my case because my stepdad, he had dementia and he wanted to go to live where his church is. And
Houston?
In my
In Houston?
Yeah. And
yeah.
And my dad was given thousands of dollars to him in order to get healed for his.
Oh no.
Yeah, and he was moving down there, and Osteen ended up talking to me and rebuking me in the name of Jesus, because he was telling me I was acting like a daughter of Satan and preventing my stepdad from getting healed and getting closer to Christ.
Wow, you're preventing trying to stop him from giving me all of his money so he dies.
Yeah.
Oh, what a douche! Oh my God, I hate that shit. Yeah.
And then my stepdad ended up packing everything, and get this, a train hit him in El Cajon, California, and then he had to be airlifted to San Bernardino Hospital, and that's where he died. He died running for me to go to that fucker.
He died running. Say that again.
He died running away from me to go
to get to Joel.
Yeah.
Oh man, that sucks. I mean, that's just I don't understand. I mean, look, Joel's such a sleazebag because I swear he knows what he's doing. I swear I don't think he believes this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's, especially if he said that kind of shit to you. Like, dude, this dude is what a scumbag.
So maybe it's like, maybe understand now why I hate religion.
Yeah, that's, you know, the word. Bleh.
Anyway.
I hate it. Did y'all see that video of that bail bond lady fucking shooting that guy?
No.
What? Y'all all need to look this up right now. Look up Stillwater, Oklahoma, bail bonds lady killing. It'll pull it up. Watch the video and it will piss you off. This lady got off today, like yesterday or something. They have a video. You can watch the video.
I'll go and share it real quick.
It was last August when Brandon Williams was shot and killed on that balcony. His accuser, Chastity Carey, was found not guilty of his murder, but this week the district attorney releasing the video of what led to his death.
911. I just shot a man on top of the roof of the town center.
It was August 9th, 2017 when Chastity Carey made the frantic call to Stillwater police that she shot Brandon Williams.
Okay, ma'am. Is he still up on top of the building? Yes, ma'am, as far as I can see. Okay. And what is your name, please? Chastity.
Williams was released on a $35,000 bond for a second-degree burglary charge. He owed a $3,500 bond fee to his bond agent, Carey. On the night of August 8th, Carey received a text from Williams saying gone to Florida. Thinking he was about to skip state without paying, Carey came up with a plan to arrest him.
It's always Florida.
The camera shows Williams walking in the office and taking a seat. But things quickly escalated. Carey gets up and locks the door.
I can't hear her.
What? What do you mean?
Yeah, you can go to the video by itself.
Don't put your hands over. Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Then you see a curtain move, and Carey runs to her drawer, grabs her gun, she points, and shoots. In Stillwater, Kelsey Gibbs, Oklahoma's News 4.
Yeah, watch the video now. Watch the video, just the video. You can look it up. It's like 2 minutes of the. You can see the whole thing that took place and watch it.
Well, first of all, she's a criminal to begin with. She's a bail bondsman. That's a predatory lender.
Oh yeah, you're gonna watch this video of this happen, and it is holy shit. It pissed me off. I saw it early this morning. I've kind of had a bad taste in my mouth all day.
What the hell is wrong with women?
No, it's not that. It's I know, and that's what people know. It's not that. It's the people that are like, work for the state. They can murder at will.
Bailsmen, well, technically they do work for the state in a diffused way. They're not technically working for the state, but they have. It's a racket. I mean, defender, public liar, prosecutor, got your judge, and then you got your witnesses against you. What is that? That's prosecutor, works for the state. Cops, a witness, works for the state. Judge, or the clerk, masquerading as a judge, works for the state. The public liar works for the state. That's a show court. And then what do? They sell you into slavery, and it goes right into a bail bondman, a predatory lender that's tied right back to the goddamn courts.
Yeah. So
and then guess how they get their money? Oh, the more
video,
the more federal funding they get.
No, not yet. I'll watch it later.
Oh, it's bad because they're just in there. All right, so she calls them in because she's like, my son wants to look at buying your car or whatever, something like that. So he gets there and he's just kind of, he walks in, he's talking, the son looks all, her son is, I guess, they have premeditated where they're going to arrest him, so they tricked him in coming up there. And so then she goes to lock the door and he's like, oh, hell no. Like, what the fuck? He's like, get off.
Confinement.
Yeah.
Assault
Kevin,
with a
stop.
weapon.
Keep going.
He's like, get me out of, get me out of here. He's like, don't touch me. I don't want to, I'm leaving. I'm not, what the hell is this? And she stops him and pushes him. And so he goes to run out the back window, to go out the back window. And as he's doing that, she goes and gets the gun. The gun's in a drawer in her desk. She opens the drawer, gets the gun out, and just points it right at him and shoots it. And her son freaks out. She's like, Mom, you just shot him. And she's like, yeah. Call 911. And then as soon as she gets on 911, she starts to act. I was so scared for my life, and he was coming for a gun, and I thought he was going to kill my son. Oh, it's so sick. It's fucking.
And she was found not guilty, right?
No, she's found not guilty.
No, she was found not guilty.
Yeah, you can be found not guilty all you want. The just from that video, it kind of proves you're full of shit.
Oh yeah, lying to the cops.
Found not guilty by what? By a jury?
Yeah, she got found not guilty by a jury.
Were they presented with the evidence? Then it wasn't an actual trial.
They were presented with the video.
Oh my god!
With that video, that literally shows entrapment, confinement, and assault with a deadly weapon. And when you're not in danger.
Yes, the Stillwater, Oklahoma, bro. She was acquitted for first degree murder, and they said that it should have been second degree because they said that the hang up probably was they couldn't prove it was premeditated. Yeah,
it's premeditated.
Sure.
Maybe not the murder.
I don't understand. So now she can't get retried for it, Oh, it's absolutely fucking.
That's not necessarily true that you can't get retried for it. The double jeopardy, because if the original court that tried you was faulty or in error to begin with and was based on fraudulent evidence or a hung jury or whatever, you can have it redone.
Or they can try her for a lower one.
Yeah, because it's clearly murder.
Fuck her.
Clearly.
Can you imagine how many people won't even trust going to her?
And granted, this is a non-violent person. This was somebody that stole stuff.
All right, guys, it's getting really late. I need to get going, get some sleep.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna get off too.
All right.
Good night.
Thanks for coming in, everybody. I'll see you guys.
Yeah, y'all have a good night.
You too.
You too.
Bye.